we are back, and this is a bit of an interesting one because it is Calamity Dane Part 2, but it is preceded by a little 12 frames per second, and this was by request, and I'm not sure if I requested it or Launch requested it, but we both think it needs to happen. So, I've already blown the gaff on who I'm talking to, but if you could introduce yourself and your character, that'd be great.
I'm Launch. I play Road is and the idiot cowboy witch, beloved by many.
She is the best. And I defy that. I do not think she's an idiot. She's wonderful. I love her so much. She has so quickly
I gave her a negative int for fun.
It's fine. Only use int for like arcana checks. Who needs that? The engineer has a 0 in intelligence because I was like, if I had to pick between intelligence and wisdom for a movie maker, I think wisdom is where it's at. Personally, that's me as an artist talking.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this has come to kick me in the ass when it comes to mechanics roles.
Yay!
Whoops. For an engineer who's literally called the engineer. Well, never mind. We move on. So I think this is before they've started filming the next scene, as it were. So it's a brand new day. Filming starts early. Man, oh my god, I don't know if you've ever been on a film set, but my god, it's like 5 a.m. Oh god, it sucks. But it's lovely, and there's a sunset, and you're in your changing room because you've got a room with a star on the door that says Road is and that's pretty cushy. How'd you feel about that, Road?
Oh man, it's weird. My own room, man. I don't have my own room even in my house because I invite the girls over so much. It's just a free for all. What the heck is this?
And you're the lead actor, so it's the nicest room. You have an ensuite bathroom. You have everything you could possibly want. Wardrobe, it's gorgeous. Even though you are wearing your usual clothes for this film because the engineer just loves your look so much. Why would you mess with that? So
there was a wardrobe, and she opted to not use it.
You can use it. You can like play dress up in the meantime. It's your room. You do whatever you like in there.
However, well, in that case.
However, it's morning before a big shoot day, so you might be feeling, I don't know, how is Road feeling? You've been filming for a while now. Are you getting used to it?
Yeah, she feels a little bit better. Still a little bit off from the incident yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wishes that it didn't happen, but trying to move past it.
Speaking of the incident yesterday, you here?
Howdy?
Room service? And someone you know very well opens the door looking rather sheepish.
Oh, hey, howdy. We gotta go over something for the shoot today, or
something like that. Partly I just want to continue my apology for what happened to you yesterday, and he comes in and closes the door. It's not all good. There was quite a lot in what happened there, and I think in order to prevent any further of that, I need to know exactly what happened back there. So I am here to not talk to you. I would really appreciate it if you would talk to me.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Well, I mean, I just one of the bullets nicked me in the band, and she just kind of very gingerly kind of thumbs the band of her hat and tries to not push it through.
I've noticed that you never take that off. Is that incorporated into your design?
Nah.
Oof,
none of my family take off our hats.
Well, isn't that something?
I'd be wearing a neato cowboy hat. God, I wish I could.
I'll see what I could do, but I like the look of yours already, so you don't need to change it for the aesthetic. I have to say, you've got that down. But, right,
Aww.
Okay, duly noted, hat is part of head, and he's literally making a note. Also, he's walked over and sort of just hopped onto your little, what do you call it, a vanity? Like the desk, which has all your makeup and a lit up mirror, the classic one with all the bulbs around the edge that you see in every horror dressing room. So he's just kind of perched on the edge of that, so that he's slightly taller than he usually is. But he's very sincerely just wanting you to talk to him about what happened? And he puts his notepad away and just kind of sits there looking at you expectantly.
Honestly, Rhode's a bit confused, not quite used to sharing these kinds of things, even with, like, Cool Man the Engineer, TM. She's just
Sorry,
like, yeah,
shall I make an insight roll on that and see if
yeah, go for
your
it.
anxiety comes across? 14, he is aware that you're anxious, but he's purposefully not talking about it, because, yeah, if you want a hug, he's already given you a hug that's available as a service.
She's going to try to not abuse the free hugs dispenser feature that comes with the engineer, but she will use it at some point. I mean, gosh, I gave you the short of it yesterday. I didn't grow up none in Inkwell, so you know, just people didn't take kindly all the time to Toonkind outside, especially when you're just basically a commodity outside. And they're just like, oh man, look at that thing. What do you mean she can't take off her hat? Well, we can fix that. And then they pull out a knife and then, yeah, I didn't.
There's a lot to unpack there. Do you want to take me through that again?
I mean, that was the longer version of the short version. But I mean, like, what part I gotta go over? I mean.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but I usually find the best place to start a story is the beginning. And he basically gestures at the little chair that's in your dressing room and is here for the long version of the long version.
She'll take it, spinning around, sit in it, so she's got her hands resting on the back. Well, I mean, my pa and my dad, they were part of a traveling group and all. Just kind of a cool side attraction to the group, the Toonkind wizards and stuff. And then I came along, and you know, I was also part of that group, you know, by extension. But you know, it's weird growing up outside Inkwell and then coming to Inkwell, because you got this place where the only people you see that are like your dad and your pa, and then you come here and suddenly, wow, it's like, where was this the whole time? But I don't know. We traveled a lot. Mostly, I don't remember any of the places we went. Not that I'd probably like to. Shoot.
It's all right. Take your time. And he's now deeply invested and has sat with his. I think he's got his elbows on his knees and his chin propped up on, like, his fingers are knitted together. This is also. I'd like you to make a little insight check.
As I put in the wrong command again. Road, what is your insight? Oh.
It's usually plus wisdom unless you've got proficiency in it.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that was a nat 20 plus 5. So you did very good on your insight check. So you can tell not only is he, like, just gonna sit here and listen to you unless, you know, it's clear that you're faltering and you need a provocation to continue. He is very purposefully sitting in a very condensed, controlled pose, because even from the very little that he knows, he's already angry about what happened to you. And there's a certain amount of tension in the claw department in his hands. It's not, like, hurting him, but, like, yeah.
The claws are there.
The claws are there, and they are deeply situated between each other so that they're not going to do any damage to any of your furniture, but, yeah.
She just kind of rubs the back of her neck, looks off to the side sheepishly. It's just, well, I mean, you know, you don't know much when you're a kid, and that's all you know is just, hey, you're up on stage doing cool performances with your dad and pa, and people clap for you sometimes, and hey, that's neat. But then you get older and you start to see some of the things that are wrong, like, hey, why can't we go out by ourselves, even though my dad and pa are adults? Why do we always have to have some real kind person with us? And you know, why are they called real kind? Why are they called real kind when we're called Toonkind? You know, it's a
Aye, that's a chip on my shoulder too. I've got a mind to try and change it to real kind, only in the REEL kind of sense. I think that would be quite a good reclamation myself.
Oh, that would be mighty clever now,
Well, maybe I'll
wouldn't it?
stop pronouncing that. I'll credit my real kind actors with it next time. See if anybody notices. I bet that
Oh, I
ruffle a
think that'd
few
be
feathers.
funny.
And this is good because this breaks the ice, so you're both chuckling about that. But he's also serious. Like, he has got a chip on his shoulder about that terminology. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, that's something that Road definitely seems to get a little hung up on when she brings it up. But she tries to brush it off. I mean, it's just, I guess it makes sense, especially since, you know, we're just something unique outside of Inkwell, or for the most part, I didn't see none Toonkind except for that one weird tree I found, but that was a special occasion.
Well, you cannot just leave me with that, and I am going to come back to that knife, but at 3, you got to talk about this 3 now, please.
Oh shoot, man, it was. My pa always said I have a knack for finding things that I shouldn't be finding, but I think it was great that I found that tree. Yeah, it was just one day when I managed to get, you know, little old me, little Road, running along, managing to dodge the handlers and finding this fancy old tree, and I was like, I like this tree something fierce. I don't know why much, so I decided I'm gonna make a broom out of it. I'm gonna make a broom out of one of them branches, 'cause you know that's one of the things you do if you find a nice tree,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's someplace that you ain't gonna be returning to, or as far as I knew, I ain't gonna be returning to that. Uh, Start peeling out the bark, and it's like, oh, it's all Toonkind underneath the real kind bark. It's all fancy. Then suddenly I can turn it into like a hammer and a gun. It's pretty whack, but I mean, hey, free gun.
Free gun. Fantastic. Oh, actually, that is a great cue for me. This is an apology for what happened to you, but I had a mind to give this, or one of them, to you in the first place because I can't think of anybody else who would be better suited to use it. And out of his hammer space, he is. I'm not going to bother rolling for that because we're in the serious talking mode, and this is not the time to pull a stepladder out of your pocket. I don't care. And he brings out what is a very humble little looking wooden box, and you probably recognise the sort of box it is because you've been working with props. And it has a sticker on it that says GBL prop number 35A, and he hands the box over to you.
He just like nearly shaking, grabs it, like gently takes it, opens the lid, much excitement.
And you, being the huge fan of the films of the engineer as you are, immediately recognise this. And this is the gun that one of the characters in his film The Good, the Bad, and the Lucky had. And this was the gun of the Lucky. And he says, well, this is a lovely little revolver. Slightly unusual. It's got 7 chambers, so 7 bullets in there. And I cannot be certain, but I am absolutely sure, if that's not a contradiction, which it is, but this gun was last handled by the luckiest goose anybody has ever met. It was absolutely ludicrous. Some of the things that happened on set you would not believe. But one of the talents that he had that I really appreciated and made good use of was the fact that he just couldn't miss. He couldn't miss if he tried. I have a strong feeling that this gun will treat you very kindly.
She's vibrating and also blue screening.
Oh dear. Oh, I broke it again. Is everything okay in there? He's doing the sort of waving.
Oh, yeah.
You alright?
Oh shoot! I can't believe it. No, it's the genuine thing. Oh my gosh! I only got replicas of this at home, man. Oh, these are the real genuine article. Oh man, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with the replicas now. I'm probably gonna have to pawn them off somewhere, or like sell them off, or just give them out to some friends. I don't even know. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh!
He's grinning from ear to ear. Oh my god.
Delta Song actually use this one. I get to use it now. Oh my gosh!
Well, it wasn't doing it in a draw. I mean, oh gosh, look at how happy you are. Oh, it's contagious. He's glowing something fierce as well. And yes, you have this gun now. And to be a boring D&D person, it has the same rules as a revolver in the handbook, but it has 7 bullets, that will never miss. Once you've used the 7th, it will just return to being a regular revolver. But it does have a bonus action, which is a fan hammer, which allows you to fire a second shot in the same round, but you can only use it for this gun.
Ooh, fancy.
So, yeah, only 7 bullets that will never miss. So, if you've got to cut a rope that someone's about to be hung by, you may want to consider using this. And I do encourage you to use it, though, because there is nothing sadder than a really cool D&D thing that no one ever uses. That's just the worst.
Oh, of course. Rhode's already like, all right, how can I put this in the film? Because then it would be like a cool, neat callback to like the old films, and like only the diehard fans would really be like, oh man, that's the same gun that
He actually
used in that film.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah, she's just going off.
Yeah, he actually very gently puts his paws over your hands with the gun and says, I actually, you've already got your aesthetic settled for this film. I really like your rifle. Honestly, it's just so iconic. I want your film to be about you. No callbacks, no cameos. This is your moment. Also, I think this gun, you should save this for when it really matters. And I have this overwhelming, foreboding sense that things are gonna get worse before they get better. It's why I'm working so hard to make these pictures.
Yeah, and on that note, she does kind of sober up to everything. Yeah, that does make sense.
Sorry to take the kick of joy out of you, because gosh, I've got a grin on my face the size of the continent. You should have seen you. Oh, if I had a mirror, I would have held it up to you.
Wait, what can I say? I'm a big fan. Can't stop that.
Well, I have to say I do appreciate it, and he does a little sort of head shake with the sort of preening, prideful look that you're perhaps a little used to seeing him at, like, film festival awards.
Of course.
Yeah. But, I've got carried away, but, aye, that's yours. Forever, please keep it. But, I really do want to hear part 2 of this thrilling saga that is your life.
Oh, man. You make it sound so fancy. It's just, I don't know, it's just me. But, where did I leave off again?
Well, you just met your first Toonkind tree and you made your own broom out of it? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You gotta teach me that trick sometime.
It's just a little bit of wood whittling, mostly. And you just gotta shave it down all nice, and then you gotta get some, make it all not splintery and all that fun stuff. The lucky thing with Toonkind trees, they don't splinter that easy, so it wasn't that much work.
There's a fella I know back home in the Independent Isles. It's about as orange as I am. He will not shut up about the trees. No one's gonna cut down your pecking trees. Gosh. Anyway, I wonder how he's doing. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. And again, he is making notes.
Oh shoot! But yeah, I just that was one of the highlights of my time outside of Anquil. I remember I brought home. My parents were like, "Where in the same hill did you manage to find something from Anquil?" I was like, "What's Anquil?"
You'd never heard of it before.
Oh no, none. Some. I mean, didn't really think much about it. None. I was just like, "Oh, I'm Road. I exist in this world, and I'm the only one like me for all the good and bad that's worth." And I mean, not to say that there isn't anyone like me here in Anquil, but it's nice seeing other Toonkind.
I'm sure it is. Not to press a sore point too hard, but you really have got my attention by mentioning a incident.
Yeah, the incident. She thumbs the band again. Well, I cannot stress this enough. We are not all real kind outside of Anquil take too kindly to Toonkind or none of that. They're too inquisitive sometimes, I suppose. But I managed to escape my handlers one time again.
Wait,
just going about
backtrack. Handlers? What's a handler?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't want none of us Toonkind. Well, us, just me and my dad's. They didn't want us going out unchaperoned or unsupervised or anything like that. Didn't want anything happening to us, and I mean, Guess they were kind of right with that.
Yeah, he's not saying anything to that. He's just he just sort of vibrated slightly and is clamping his mouth shut very tightly so you can keep talking.
But yeah, I ran into some real kind kids or older kids, and I was trying to hang out with kids my age, even if they were a bit older, and they were like, oh, well, they were just marveling at me being Toonkind, and I didn't know much better. I was preening at the attention. Then they asked me to take off my hat, and yeah, I can't do that none. And that they kept saying to do it, and they didn't believe me none. They thought it was gonna be some joke reveal, and well, one of them well, a violent type, I guess. He thought, oh well, if you ain't gonna take it off, we can just cut it off and wear us our own Toonkind hat. And well, they got a knife and
Would you excuse me for a moment?
yeah, okay.
And he very quietly gets off the table and walks to your, as previously mentioned, ensuite washroom, and the door closes. And then there's just this extraordinary 2 seconds of, it sounds like someone electrocuted a tiger and set off a bomb. It's like, the door does that whole bending outwards as this kind of like muffled explosion happens. There's definitely some flames that come out through the edges as well. And then you just hear like a tap running, and then that very distinctive that you hear when a dog shakes itself off. And the translation of this is he literally kind of just exploded and then had to stick his head underneath a cold tap to cool off. And he opens the door and he says, "Sorry, I'll replace your towels." There's just ash. Anything that was wood or paper.
Takes a peek in there. It's just all charcoal.
Yeah,
I see.
It was white before. It's just black now.
Not a quick redecorating.
I am so sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's well in the past, and that was kind of the inciting incident that got my parents to be like, "Hey, maybe we should go to Hanquel instead of being out here," and that was a fun journey in itself.
Do you need to talk about that as well?
I mean, that's more of a fun story, I guess. So, we rode out some stupid early. The sun was barely rising. I wasn't the nocturnal moon witch that you see before you yet. I was little wee bab, just kind of wrapping a bunch of band-aids, because man, they were worried that I wasn't gonna make it with. Yeah, she just kind of scratches the back of her hat, like the one, the kind of the one line that keeps it up. But and that's where they start. That's where I got that song first time. We were singing campfire songs all the way to the boat. It was mighty fun, that was. And going on the boat and getting to Hanquel, it was amazing, man. I mean, I don't think people who live in Hanquel, who grew up here, don't really. I don't know how much they appreciate sometimes just how beautiful this place is.
Yeah, he just gives you the slow nod on that one. Because he's been here for a while and he does feel the same.
It's words cannot describe just how amazed I was coming in, seeing other Toonkind, seeing Toonkind settings, Toonkind everything. It was like Pa told me stories about Anquil, but more in the sense of it being a fantasy place that they don't really exist none. And then to find out it's real and it's everything I imagined it to be and better. It was just I just love Anquil so darn much. that's why I'm so protective with my girls and everyone, I guess.
I want you to make a little perception check.
Ooh, perception.
Yeah. This is
As I forget how perception is spelled, and I look at the wrong stat.
A 10. Okay, cool. So you don't particularly notice because you're telling the story and you assume that he's just making more notes about, some things that are occurring to him. And he is, because from your side you can't see, but from the audience's side we can see that he is making a note that is underlined a few times, which says cross-continental release, question mark. Yeah, he's never really pressed that angle before, but he is strongly thinking about it now. Okay, so yes, you have arrived in Inkwell on the boat, and it is like there are no cats in America, but there are no cats in America.
Oh, but it was just something marvelous. We had our own horses. Those were the only real kind of horses we kept, and we had our own carriage. And my parents, they brought their act with them just in case, because we didn't really have much of a plan, or at least I don't think they did have much of a plan when we got here. We just up and move and hope someone can make sure my head don't fall off none. But just seeing UPA for the first time, because we took the long way. We had to. We rode from the ship. We didn't take none trains or cars or nothing. And just seeing the city sparkling in the distance like that, it was just, I just can't ever get it out of my mind. Some things are just too beautiful.
I agree with that one. I do agree. Yeah, he's got a sort of reminiscent look on his face because yeah, a lot of places in Inkwell still do that for him because he travelled a lot growing up, and he actually worked as an engineer as well as doing the film work, so he got to see basically everywhere in Inkwell growing up, and it was an education.
But anyways, oh man, funny. The first thing we did, one of the first things we did, we tried to see a movie. This was back when you were still the man that died 1,000 times, and I didn't understand none about movies, and that there wasn't permanent none in this. So when I saw a bunch of the extras getting off, I cried something stupid fierce. Oh, looking back, I feel so silly. But oh man, I was so heartbroken that the nice man got hung over there, and oh, just shoot, they showing this for entertainment. I thought it was something scary.
Oh, my poor wee bonny lass, aren't you so sweet? And he's kind of delighted, but also kind of feels bad because he's just imagining, Baby Road being very distraught about someone dying in a movie. He's like, well, I mean, if it's any comfort to you, I saw a film when it came in, and people didn't know how to react to it at all.
My pa had to take me out of the theater and help calm me down, and I made a scene. But then I was like, I want to see it again, because I need to see it again until I didn't cry, and it took me a few times. I think my parents hate that movie to this day because I made them see it so many times.
I have got a couple on my list that my mother would probably agree with you on that.
Oh man.
Well, doesn't that stand as testament to your determination? You are a fantastic
I was
person.
stubborn.
Hey, stubborn is a good quality. Fierce. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Stubborn is a good quality.
Oh yeah, I like to think so. I mean, even if I didn't pass school because of it, but who needs proper schooling?
Success is only the reward of determination, and bloody-mindedness is another word for that. So.
Ain't that the truth?
You're in good company.
I mean, I don't know. Some people pity me because I never managed to complete a good education of what they what they consider. But I don't know. I don't need no fanciness. I got my radio station. I got my girls. I got my gun.
And you've
also got my collection.
I think actually at this point, he's heard enough. He's heard enough. So he climbs onto the little desk, and he reaches out and he gives you a kiss on the band of your hat, and just presses the flat of his face up against it, because he doesn't know how to express how much he loves you, but he really does, so he hopes that this communicates that.
Like, a moment of just silence before she absolutely grabs him into a big hug.
Oh gosh, you really have got quite some strength in there, haven't you?
It means an awful lot to me.
You mean an awful lot to me.
Ah, shoot, you can't be saying that. No,
I
I've been
can.
looking up for you way too long.
I'm a sentimental old fool. I'm allowed to say whatever I pick and want.
I can't argue with that, I guess.
I'm your boss, you're not allowed to.
Ah!
And yeah,
beans.
big ol' hug time. Gosh, he loves you so much. And I think, yeah, again, like sort of silently communicated in this hug is like, he would do anything for you. Anything for you.
Aww.
Y'all been adopted. Sorry, it happened again, folks, but we all knew it.
But Road will really suck. Be like, but like, it do mean a lot to me that you brought me on for this project, cause Anquil's done a lot for me, and that speech you gave at the beginning about how this'll help heal Anquil any bit. It just means a lot to me. I don't care none about stardom or any of that fun jazz. Though working with you is a plus. I just being able to do something for Anquil's mighty important to me, and I'm real glad to be here doing that.
I'm gonna make a roll for him. Like, this is to make a decision, but I don't know how to. Okay, it's a 13. Like, yeah, he takes a moment, because like this was almost like a secret which he didn't want to put on you, but he also feels like he owes you the honesty. So yeah, he does the sort of breathing into prayer hands pose for a second, and then he's like, well, I have to be honest, like, I don't want you to hear this next part and think any less of me, because I wanted to make a film with you as the star. You as the star. I mean, Calamity Dame is basically you. I just exaggerated her a wee bit, but you and yourself are inspiring enough. You basically wrote this film by yourself. That and Primrose, combination, pow, dynamite.
Yeah, so mighty fancy and pretty and cool. Oh man, I'm so happy to be working with her.
She's a doll, isn't she? She's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll have to have words with her later as well. I want to know more about her and all. But I cannot tell a lie, and he does the gag pose. Everybody knows it. He says that I have got a history of being a wee bit conniving and putting in things that mean things, and well, the fact that the main protagonist of this film, which is partly written to really make Dora spin in her grave, though she's managed to crawl her way out of it. The fact that the main protagonist is a blue UPAN with white outlines incorporated into its design is not a coincidence.
It takes a minute, I guess.
Yeah. Tick, 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 ping.
Ow.
I apologise if that was beyond what's acceptable as secrecy goes, but I just couldn't pass up the opportunity, and honestly, spending time with you really remind me of Vic.
Aw.
He was so full of love for life and cinema. Gosh, that man loved film as much as me. Pity he couldn't act to save his life. I mean, bad choice of words, but he was as UPA as UPA gets, and I think I can say the same of you.
Aw. Road feels much complimented. Goes like the blue just the saturation increases.
Oh, good. He's relieved. Yeah, you can see a visible relief, because he was like not sure how you would take that, which is why he didn't say, because there's already enough, like, there's a lot of weight on this movie. Like, even if it's a feel-good movie, it means a lot. Gee.
Hi.
Anyway, sorry, that's enough crippling pressure. I suppose I owe you after you've given me your heart and soul like this, and I really do appreciate it, because I feel like I do understand you much more. I love you so much. But Is there anything? Is there
Aww.
anything at all that I can do for you? Oh heck, we've only got like half an hour before we're filming. Less than. Is there anything at all that I can do for you?
You're how do I ask this one? You're real good with directing and stuff, so like you're like leader kinda, right? Yeah.
He takes a second on that. He's like, "Oh, I, there is a difference between a director and a leader, but I want you to go where you were going with this thought before I start stepping in with that.
I I got girls back in UPA and I want to do them good, but I ain't always sure that I'm the best at leading them and stuff. I know I ain't the brightest at reading situations, none. I ain't the smartest magic user or anything like that. But like I want to be able to offer them something they can rally behind. I don't know much how to bridge that gap without I don't know.
Hmm.
I
So,
look up to you, and I don't. I want to be someone that others can look up to and depend on. So, how do I emulate that? I guess.
well, for a start, yeah, don't want to be emulating me. And he's doing he's got a sort of red blush on his cheeks, like in amongst the orange. He's been very bright colours most of the time with you, apart from when he's been slightly desaturated with how sad he is. But like, yeah, he's complimented that you're asking him this, but he's also trying to like actually level it with good advice, because lately he hasn't felt like a very good leader. So he says, well, I mean, directing clues in the name. You have to tell people what you want them to do. So it's about persuading people to do things. Leadership is actually about inspiring people to do things that they never thought they could. It's not so much about telling them what to do. You tell them what needs to be done and let them do it themselves.
But like, you've done that. Like, even alone here in the film set, you've helped me out, make sure I don't make a blundering fool of myself when I ain't the prettiest making the prettiest picture for this film. And like, man, so much of me is just based on seeing your films when they came out, and just yeah, protagonists always doing what's right, even if it ain't with the law, or even if it ain't easy.
Well,
It just impacted me a lot.
that's oh, I cannot tell you how moved I am by that, because that is exactly why I make movies. And he's actually choked up a bit. Like, he actually is having trouble finding words now, because, like, that is why he does this. That is why he does this,
No.
is for people like you, is to get that kind of message to them. And, like, having heard where you came from, like, he's actually so moved for a moment, he can't talk. And this guy just talks all the time. So, like, wow, like, you can tell. You basically gave him a gut punch with that.
It's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to make you cry none. Oh shoot, I don't know how to deal with this part.
No, it's alright. Just give me a moment. Well, I think we've already really covered quite a lot of it. Like, the habit of persistence is the habit of victory. You have got everything you need. You want to be a leader? You're already a leader. You're charismatic. You're inspiring. You're honest. You communicate. You're direct. You're simple. I cannot tell you how important that is. Just say things in the simplest way possible. You've been down on yourself for your lack of finer education. So am I. I got out of school as soon as I picking could. The world was my education, and it was the same for you. And I think that's benefited us both. You can put fancy words on things, but if nobody understands what the peck you're saying, it's pointless. So, yes, just be direct. Listen. I've got to learn about that myself a bit better. Encourage people's input. I mean, I illustrate through stories. You can illustrate through stories. You can make metaphors if you like, but like, just be yourself. You are a metaphor for what your message is. Just affirm it with your actions, because you're all about honesty. You just, I mean, look at what an effect you've just had on me. You just cut me to the quick. If you can do that with me, hard-bitten 60-year-old grumpy fart that I am, you can do that to anybody.
Can I get another one of them hugs?
Oh, absolutely. You ain't stopping him. But yeah. He gives you a really big hug, and he's just trying to think of one last thing before, like, you don't want to aim to have people having confidence in you necessarily. That will come naturally if you work hard towards giving them confidence in themselves. Does that make sense?
I think being here and working with you has definitely helped a little bit, or a little lot of bit.
Well, working with you is a tonic and all. I actually have a rather ambitious project coming up, and on the strength of this one, I think I will pursue it. Would you like to be a part of 3 more movies?
Ah, shoot. That really does depend. I mean, it's amazing working here with you, but also I gotta make sure I can get my girls in order. I don't want to be leaving them hanging dry, none.
Oh, I understand. I tell you what, the role I actually have for you, I can edit it down. I think that would actually make it more impactful. Yeah. In fact, I'll mostly have you in the first one. I can have like a little allusion to you in the second too, but mostly you're going to be in the first film anyway. Hey, I can work with that. Would like call it a 1.5 extension movie contract. How does that suit you?
Yeah, that works.
Oh, I'm so relieved to hear that. I've already written it.
Oh shoot! Now I feel like I'm messing something up.
No. You've made it better. I promise. You and Primrose bringing these things to the table. That's another thing. Just be flexible. Work with what you have. Don't wish you had something else. Look at what you've got. Look at all the blessings that it comes with.
I already work playing with that. I make sure to have open hours for all my girls to come over my house. We make brisket all the time. It's all pretty nice. I do say my pa makes a mean brisket, and I do make it pretty darn good.
Oof, you're making me hungry now. I managed to skip breakfast. Actually, I should get some of that to me before we start. Actually, last piece of advice from me, just eat breakfast. My God, don't go to work without it. It's the biggest regret of my life is not learning that sooner.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta make sure you eat some. I may not always take care of myself in the best ways, but I always make sure I eat 3 square meals a day.
Oh, I've got 2 lads that have been bullying me into getting enough sleep and enough food. I would have thought that I was their father, but no, it's the other way around.
Oh man, you got 2. I had a 3rd one for the food part, because I'm gonna have to be making brisket for you if you ain't eating.
Well, if you're offering, I'll come round. Oh, aye, the master of the people is their servant. Alright, I shall obey, and I shall away, because we've got a movie to make. Get over your lines. Is there anything else I can do before I have to run off?
One more hug?
One more hug. And the 3rd hug occurs, and it's a Beezer. Yeah, he almost lifts you off the floor, because again, he's like standing on the table, so he's the best possible height for hugging.
Vantage point.
Okay, and I think after that, is there anything else you want before we take a little break before the next game?
No, I think that's good. Rose just kind of giddily smiles to herself and then turns to go over her lines.
Great. Yeah, he gives you the biggest smile, and he leaves. And leaves with, wow, quite a lot of thoughts about you. My goodness me. But he is devoted to you for life. He was basically already, but if you asked him to jump into a volcano, he would. Yeah, he loves you so much. Also, this is the stats for a revolver, in case you use up those 7 bullets, and I do hope you do, because I think that gun will come in useful for future campaigns. Hooray!
Oh, I do hope so.
Not necessarily once the tyrant, but just use the thing. I'm saying this as someone who's played D&D, received a cool thing which had limited uses, and never used it because I was an idiot.
Listen, man. Road gets enough chaos thrown her way. She'll use it.
Okay, cool. Alright, I'm going to stop this recording and I will fuse it together with Calamity Dame Part 2, so this will resume in a very short amount of time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Alright, we are resuming, and this is all going to be part of the same thing. So, I've just had a little request that we start off with sort of another FPS as well, but I think, all the same, we should do the traditional of running down and introducing the players and their characters.
Avi, that's you.
Oh god, it's me.
Oh yeah, that is me. Hello, I am Artist of Obsessions, also known as Avi, and today I'm going to be playing as Primrose Poodle, Pink Poodle Frankenelli Toon.
Who's next? Where's Louis? It's you. It's you, man.
It's me. It's me, Louis. I'm gonna play Tobias this game again. Yay!
We love him.
We do.
Ah, jeez. Oh, no, my microphone is working. Okay.
It is.
I am Launch. I am reprising my role as Road is -N, beloved idiot witch cowboy.
Stop insulting our baby. We love her.
She's beautiful.
She's not an idiot.
But in
Exactly.
wisdom, she is much more of a brain cell than Prim.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't mean to agree with another insult. You misled me. I was mean.
She has the brain cell, don't worry.
And welcome back, darlings. DJ Moves here, once again possessing the form of the no longer birthday girl, but we're still holding the birthday girl inspiration because she didn't use it last time. Nobody talk about how I accidentally almost said grooves.
I wasn't going to comment on it, but okay. Moves. Okay, fantastic. This is, yep, we're all together. And, I think, Moves, do you want to start us off?
Yes, indeed. Louis, where do you sort of hang around in the studio right before filming starts? Because I assume we're going to be, like, filming outside, but is there a particular place you hang out?
Oh, I have no idea actually. I think Tobias kinda walks around because he likes to see what other people are up to.
Well, if he's wandering around, he might find Moves before Moves finds him in that case. He's working with some of the penguins. They sometimes help with the musical stuff, so he's like helping one of them with the banjo, and then he's like, darling! Oh, my dearest Toby, I've been actually meaning to talk to you for a second. Listen, darling. And he
Okay.
puts his arm around Toby and says, listen, darling, I just want you to understand, something happened the last time I played second fiddle to the engineer, and I want you to be clear, there is no bad blood between us, but I want you to know, playing second fiddle doesn't have to be lesser. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm not sure.
Well, then let me tell you, darling. Don't worry about it. I'll just let you know. Last time, I sort of got miffed with the fact that I was just being an actor for the engineer, and he came up with such a thin idea of why I should want to off the best accountant I have ever met. But, because I was annoyed, things happen. The Taffy Train saga briefly flashes in front of everyone's eyes. And then he says, because of that, I have learned that sometimes we need to have a secondary role in a specific movie, and I just want you to know, and he claps you on the shoulder again, you realize that DJ Moves is very physical with his affection. He says, I just want you to know, just because you are not leading role doesn't mean you can't bring in the focus when you need it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Deep Moves has
sure.
just handed off a point of inspiration, not bardic inspiration, but actual inspiration,
Oh.
off to Toby.
Oh, that's cool of you.
Oh, thank you.
With this
I'm
pep
gonna
talk,
die again.
This pep talk which has left him so confused.
That's it, you killed me. Bye.
as Toby is dying, Moves like looks at his arm, like pulls back the jacket to reveal like 3 watches, all of which are like setting off silent alarms, and it's like, oh, about time for filming, darling. We gotta get our secondary star on the stage. Let's go! And he pushes you towards the set.
Oh God. I want to say that during all this time, Tobias was just great. Total confusion.
Oh, bless you.
What the fuck is happening?
Honestly, kind of same hat for a while there. Okay. I think
What is happening?
I think as we see these two hurrying up towards the set, we zip pan to another location with another character. Obby, what's Prim up to?
Prim. I'm sorry, I'm again. Prim has dang it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm.
It's alright, we all get
my
those
mind
giggle
is
nerves.
flatlining.
I can lead in if you would need some help. I don't mind if you need me to lead in.
Yes, please. I can't think.
It's fine. In fact, I think the engineer is looking for you because everybody's gathering on set, but he sees you, Prim, going over your lines, and perhaps you're so invested in what you're trying to memorize that you haven't actually heard the second bell going off. So he's like, "All right, anybody home? Come on, we need you on set." Prim?
Hi. And then like Prim just kind of like snaps out of like what she was doing, and she gets like this big old grin, and she's like, oh, actually, I wanted to talk to you a bit.
All right. He's looking at the ever counting down stopwatch which he has, but he concedes there are some seconds that you can have his conversation with.
Well, Prim just immediately like gives him a big old hug.
Oh,
Just
I'm getting all of
nowhere.
those today. Thank you. What's brought this on? And
I
does return the hug. He does return the hug.
I wanted to thank you because I'm so I don't know how to word it. It's just I'm so happy that I still get to act even though I can't word at the moment.
Ah,
It's
words.
just-
As in, you
tail's
kind of...
just wagging.
Well, your tail is not the only one. In fact, he's quite pleased because he loves him a hug, but he's also just really pleased that you stayed on and weren't, put out by his... Like, he did, like, interpret what's happened to you into your character in the film, which, again, like, some people might find that kind of off-putting, but you seem to have taken to it, so he's pleased that you're happy. And yeah, he continues to give you a hug, and he's like, well, there was no question about it. Once I saw you, I needed to have you in this movie. You're brilliant, and the acting you have been putting out, you are a staple in this studio, and again, I think I need to keep you on for a couple of movies.
More?
Oh,
I
hey.
think Prim is surprised by this actually.
I've got the trilogy opportunity of a lifetime coming up, and not to bend your arm, but I think it would be foolish to pass it up, don't you?
She's just kind of quiet for a bit. I think she's just processing.
Well, you don't have to give me an answer straight away, but...
Oh, I'm just honored. Oh my gosh.
It's a cracking roll. You get some really witty lines in this one. But, spoilers, we've got to focus on this picture. Is there anything that you need from me before we go on set? I mean, this hug is wonderful, but time is running out.
Right. And then Prim finally pulls away. not that I can think of at the moment, but I just wanted to say thank you again, because
I don't think he needs an explanation for the ahs. Like he gets it. He gets it, and he actually takes you to the side slightly because you know, you're about to be run over by owls wheeling big pieces of props around, and he's like, well, you know, I do try and give people fair opportunity because, in all honesty, I wasn't given fair opportunity when I started to do it with this face. And he gestures at the lack of a face, and he has talked about this in interviews and such. But yeah, he had a really hard time landing a serious acting part to begin with. I had to start out as what I could, which was largely working behind the camera, which was a great education, but also stunt work in the background. It took me picking ages to get any acting opportunities.
Cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine now. I mean, self-directing, I've put myself in every picture that I've ever made because I'm an egomaniac and you cannot fix that. But all the same, it really gave me an insight as to people missing out on people who are talented just because they weren't what everybody expected of them, or they didn't have eyes or eyebrows or something like that, or in your case a singing voice, which I am curious about the story that you used to be able to sing but you can't anymore. This may not be the best time to talk about that, but I am interested.
Maybe later. It's kind of a long story anyway.
Oof, we do not have time for a long story, alas. But you and me, we'll have a chinwag sometime. Okay, are we good?
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
All right, let's
I
get
have to
on.
go get my outfit on.
Oh, you do. Right. Okay. Quick costume. Then get on set as quick as you like, but don't twist your ankle. Okay.
Right. And then Prim scurries off.
Great. And wham bam, thank you, ma'am. With a little bit of delay, not too far behind schedule for the day. You start the next scene. So we left our heroic trio heading towards the town of Evade on the dog cart, having bested the badnits and Modman's terrible typos, and it was a great success. And there's a little segue scene. So the three of you are traveling back, and Calamity Dame is at the reins and largely, responsible for looking after the horses. So Belle, that is Annabelle, and Bill are sat in the back, and it's kind of a silent thing. Like you have some really nice track music from moves, but just visually you get the idea that these two are talking quite a lot and get along very well. And then we're back in town, and you all say goodbye to each other, and just to keep the film rolling, that is the game rolling, I'm actually going to zip to proof of concept, which is a scene where it involves road, Prim, and moves, because this is where Annabelle and Dame try out their act, in inverted commas, for Joe, Reliable Joe. So in this scene, I mean, you guys know what's going to happen, but to refresh people who have taken a while since they listened to the last game, Annabelle cannot sing, but Calamity Dame can. So Calamity Dame is going to hide and sing while Annabelle performs. Reliable Joe does not know about this. So I would like you all three to roll performance. In the case of Prim and Rhoda, I think you could also roll deception, arguably.
Ooh.
Also moves, this will double for you writing the music for this scene, which they will sing and dance to. So if it goes
Prim is
poorly...
not good at deception. I think I'm gonna go with performance.
Okay.
He's really good at deception.
Oh, these rolls, my goodness me.
Holy crap.
I mean, wow. A 21, a 24, and an 18. These rolls. Dice gods want this movie to be good, and it is gonna be good.
Holy crap.
Okay, I'm gonna sit back and let you guys describe what happens. Maybe starting with Reliable Joe, who has finally got his flippers on some talent.
So Reliable Joe, like the scene starts like inside of the tavern, but like you're watching the door and you just hear Reliable Joe talking before you see the iconic Western double doors flip open as he holds the door open for Annabelle and says, Well, darling, this would be where you would be performing. I truly cannot wait to see someone as wonderful as you get on my tiny little stage. But don't worry, you will be properly compensated all. And he's just talking.
Annabelle is like politely listening and nodding along, and
Rhodes trailing behind, trying to be relatively inconspicuous. Like, we gotta pull this thing off something fierce now, don't we?
Actually, I think, Road, that is to say Dame, I think you should roll sneak to try and get onto the stage and behind, like, a piece of scenery or in the wings.
Eek.
A 14. You almost goof it. Your toe snags on a piece of rope, and it looks like, you know, ordinarily someone would have noticed, but because Reliable Joe is just talking, as described, like, really gassing, it just works as a really nice little gag and a reminder that Calamity Dame is kind of clumsy. And you make it into the wings unseen.
And Joe keeps talking, and he's just like, oh, you'll be drawing in the fans, and everybody's going to love you, darling. Listen, we never get enough people in this town to appreciate the culture, and the culture you're gonna bring to this role. Oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. And then he like those were all chef kisses, but then he also like mwah, 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 kisses you on the cheek, and then on the nose. He does not kiss you on the lips. Let's be clear. It's like Italian kissing of friendship and stuff.
Yeah. Well, when Prim's nose is kissed, it makes a squeaky toy noise.
Oh, that's so good.
And he's like, oh, they're going to love you, darling. Listen, I haven't opened the tavern yet. Could I possibly get just a eensy-weensy preview of the stardom we are going to be bringing to this town?
Absolutely. And Annabelle is quick to kind of somewhat awkwardly set herself up on the stage. Oh boy.
And Moves is like sitting front and center just looking at you, and even with his beady little eyes you can see stars. He's so excited. I mean, Joe, not Moves. Who's Moves? Who's Morales?
Okay, yeah, the stage is literally set, and it is your big number. This is to persuade Reliable Joe that you are the act that he needs. And, you know what, like, with that performance role, I'm just gonna go with that, because, damn, that was a barnstormer. So, I mean, unless you want to roll again, I really don't mind.
I think I want to keep the 18.
Yeah, the 18 is
I'll
good.
keep my...
It's like, it makes sense because it wouldn't be above a 20 because Annabelle might be a little nervous.
Yeah.
This is the first time she's performed in a while.
Oh, that's fair. Again,
keep
points
it
for being in
for-
character. That's very, very nice.
Are we doing a slow song or are we doing a fast song?
Oh. Just the stage whispering. Kind of in the middle. There's just a moment before Annabelle's on the stage where they're frantically whispering, like, okay, what are we doing?
We're in the wings. We're just trying to plan. We're like, all right, I got like a relatively like slow-ish song.
I can work with that. I can work with that.
Okay.
Okay, go.
All right, break leg. But not actually.
Screw it.
Gosh. All right. Time for me to sing.
Only if you want to, but I am delighted to hear it.
Time. All right. Do you want to describe how Prim starts out, or not Prim? Belle starts out.
I haven't thought about what kind of dance she's doing.
Might be easier to describe the dance once you have some idea of the type of song.
It's slow. Relatively slow, somewhat romantic.
Ooh,
Maybe like a jazz style dance then.
cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see. Oh, the summertime, it brings the boys in swarms. The summertime, when it's nice and warm. When the flowers are past their full bloom. And all I think about is you.
I can't
So
believe you did it again! That was so good. If you hadn't already rolled a 24, I would have given you, like, straight winner. That was very, very good. Okay, yeah, you have this beautiful jazz singing voice coming to mime along to. How does Annabelle do this?
It probably takes like a couple seconds for her to get used to like the pace of the song, but when she has like the feel of the song, she starts the dance starts fitting with it better.
So
like-
Joe is just entranced, and he's so entranced that he doesn't see that like somebody started like peeking through the door and seeing Joe and somebody on this stage. They assume that it was open, so there's a couple people leaking in, and as the song continues to go on and swell behind Joe's back, the tavern, which hasn't been formally opened, has just already started to become filled from this melodic voice, and then as they come in, this glorious dance. Before Moves has even given out like flyers and stuff and made a big hoo-ha about what's going on, Joe's tavern is already starting to be filled.
And in fact, outside even, there is an audience, because there's a particular kind of shy and retiring, gentle sort of cowboy who knows these two very well. And Tobias, your character Bill, has been walking along the street and hears this amazing voice. And your character is entranced, and I think you lean against the outside of the wall next to this open window, and you can just about see who is performing on the stage, so you definitely assume that's their voice. I would like you to roll performance.
Oh boy, okay.
And remember, you now have an inspiration point thanks to Snail.
Hiding.
Thanks, Snail.
The pining.
It is, it's very much a little subtle cutaway pining scene, and
I
18.
don't think I need it.
Yeah, 18 is solid. That's very, very good. Do you want to describe your pining?
Well, I think for the scene, like you said, Bill was walking along the street. Then when he hears the singing from far away, he sees the tavern with all the people, and he actually has to push some people out of the way to get to the window to see. And immediately when his eyes lay upon Annabelle, he starts turning a light pink. Then it starts getting darker and darker as the song goes on, until he's just leaning on the window, looking at Annabelle with literal earth eyes.
Oh, so good. I love it. I love the tooniness. Very, very nice. And yeah, the camera goes back to the performance on stage, and it's wonderful. There is no other way to describe it. And I think Calamity Dame, you finish the last note, and there's this sort of wondrous pause, and then a huge applause. I mean, it's not like as big as if the place was literally filled to the brim, because it, this wasn't advertised, but it's so jubilant, and oh my goodness, everybody who listened to this loves Annabelle immediately. They are over the moon.
Annabelle probably gets a little surprised because she was probably so focused on dancing that she didn't even notice people came in.
And that's winning as well, because you have this sort of like, oh gosh, sort of moment. This was a fantastic scene. I will let you characters do some more if you want to.
I know, while Belle is dancing and Dame is singing, she's just like dreamily swaying and looking at Belle dance and just like, my own sort of puppy love.
Oh my gosh. Perfect.
Oh.
It's so cute.
When the first song runs to an end, Moves is absolutely like, Joe like claps and then like gets surprised by the clapping, and he's like, well, okay, and he's like, drinks for the wonderful performance, and he goes behind the bar and starts serving drinks, and the bar is lively and the bar is happy, and then there's an encore call.
Oh boy.
You guys don't actually have to sing an encore, by the way. It's just as the scene continues, that's what's being demanded in quotation marks.
Ron just kind of looks at her and like shrugs, like,
Annabelle probably just kind of like sneakily gives her a wink from the stage, and like is kind of waiting to see if Calamity Dame's all right with an encore.
She's just kind of like, are you a guess?
Oh,
Can't say no to a face like that now, can I?
Okay, I think the scene, as it were, drifts away and cross dissolves as this repeat performance is happening, and again, like the camera kind of fades through the building, and you can see the outside, and yet more people are approaching, and this continues, and then it's like the next day, and this is the day where there is supposed to be the big performance, and you've given your own advertising, like everybody knows how good your act is, but you know, like there's the promise in the air of a new song maybe, and everyone is like actually going to see the real thing, like you were wearing like a costume, but maybe it's like this one you'll get a really fancy one, so everyone's very, very excited. And after seeing Belle's performance, on top of being rescued by her and Calamity Dame, like, we're very obviously aware that Bill has just totally fallen in love with Belle, and it's the morning, and Annabelle, you're in your dressing room, and we have a slight echo of the FPS we had this morning. Only it's romantic, because there's a knock on your door, and Bill has come to visit you.
Oh, Annabelle probably says something. Oh, come in, give me a sec. And then there's just like the sound of like her rearranging some stuff real quick before there's just come in.
Billy walks in, and he doesn't have his poncho, and he's holding his hat to his chest while he walks in shyly. Hello there, Belle.
Oh, and then Annabelle is just she's wearing one of her costumes right now, and oh shoot, do I have the art for it? Hold on.
Oh man.
I am spoiled with
It's
so
really
much
old, so I don't. It's real old art, so I don't know if I still have it.
It doesn't matter if you do or not. It's like, yeah, this is a cute scene regardless.
It's a cute outfit. It's just a cute outfit. I don't know where the art is, but.
Whatever the costume is, Bill is already pink, so it doesn't really change anything. I just wanted to talk to you for a moment, if you have the time, of course.
Sure, absolutely. And Annabelle kind of awkwardly makes sure everything is a little neat before she goes to Bill's side so she can talk to him.
There's a little moment of silence as Bill waits for Annabelle to be ready for what he's going to say. And then he just, when she's ready, he just takes one of her hands in his and does a little bow Jen looks at her with not quite her eyes, but if you focus, you might see a little heart-shaped shine in them. As he says softly, "I think I'm in love with you."
And just immediately, just like starts blushing. Like there's like a light red dusting to her pink fur, and she's just flabbergasted because this came out of left field. She's just like, oh.
I mean, your personality was already so great when I first met you, but seeing you dance and sing on that stage last night, it was, it was incredible. I couldn't have been more enamored with you.
I think you crazy love-struck kids have to roll performance because this is adorable, but this is the game where we have to roll dice. So if you could, that would be nice.
Roll to not be giggling on set.
Yeah, yeah, roll to not goof on set. Whoa, 20, you're fine. A 17 is really good. I mean, like, that was the DC you had to meet for a scene like this.
Is it really acting at this point?
It's up to you. Like, is Tobias disappointed in a
Who
17?
knows? Who knows? Certainly not me. Tobias is probably fumbling a bit with his word. So.
The thing is, with a 17, like, if you're happy with it, we can totally keep it because you met the DC. On the other hand, like, as the actor, as Tobias, as, like, the person who wants this to be great, would he be satisfied with this performance?
You also have an inspiration point.
Also, like, yeah, we do have a bard on hand who can give you bardic inspiration if you don't want to use that just yet.
Moves, poses like paint me one of your French girls.
It's not supposed to be inspiring or off-putting.
Oh wait, hold on. Lewis is having Discord.
Oh no. Oh, Discord, why? F in the chat. Okay.
Sorry, I'm back.
Oh, okay, you're back. How much did you miss?
Discord likes to... No, I don't think that much.
Basically...
Just I said Tobias is fine with it.
Okay, so it's Tobias's choice whether he wants to do another take, or you do have DJ Moves giving you some sort of encouragement. Basically, you could also take bardic inspiration instead of using your inspiration point if you want to.
I think honestly Tobias can't go through this again. He's just so shy already and do a literal love confession even if it's acting.
So
cool.
Moose would be perfectly happy to give him an inspiration bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
That would give you a plus D8 for an even better acting.
I think that would be... I mean, a 17 plus any number is going to be a success. It's just going to make it even better. It's like, basically, if you take this and it does really well, your fumbling will come across as, like, genuine fumbling. It will be very, very sweet and in character.
Hey, you know what? Okay.
Alright.
Okay, we continue with the scene. Oh, right, you are taking that. 1d8. Let's see how good your cute fumbling is.
So, do I just roll a d8 then?
Yeah, just a 1d8.
Yeah.
A 3. Okay, so that takes you up to a 20. A dirty 20 is very nice. And, yeah, you have this cowboy character who's been kind of stoic and heroic in the one big scene that he's had. And this is where our hearts, as the audience, really melt for Bill, because he's just a kid, and he's so in love, and he's kind of flummoxed, and, like, man, this lady is very pretty. You would be shy of confessing this to her. So it's very relatable, #relatable, adorable. Nobody could hate you after this, Bill. Oh my god, you're adorable.
Moves absolutely
I'm
did
dying.
look at you, see that you were a little bit really flummoxed, and give the wink, and the sparkle reached you because he's on your side. You won't
Oh my
get it.
god.
Keep going, kiddo.
Yeah, your director does the sort of keep
literally
rolling
hits
hand.
him on the head.
The sparkle just hits him on the head, did you say?
Yeah,
Oh my god, it just bounces off.
the sparkle from Moose.
I have to edit that out later. Bunk. Anyway, yeah, so
I don't know
Annabelle,
what to say.
Annabelle, this guy has just confessed his love to you. What do you do? Drama.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
Oh no, I killed Obi.
Oh no.
I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this. And remember, you have a director who's willing to step in and give advice. I just also don't want to step on your tongues by jumping in and talking over you.
It's probably just giggling because she's just
Oh.
flattered, and I don't know what to say. I really don't. I can't think of anything. My brain.
Do you need your director
Sorry,
to
Mother,
help?
we don't have any brain cells
It's
anymore.
fine.
Probably, yeah.
It's fine. Okay, you
Brain
hear.
cell.
All right, kids, cut. And there's a sort of united ah from the owls who were filming because they were like really enjoying the fact that you guys were like flustered. It was really sweet. However, this is a movie. We can't spend 2 hours looking at you going nah, which is adorable, but yeah, it doesn't make for good quality storytelling. So he comes over and you can tell he's amused, and also I'm gonna make a quick insight check. 16. He's got a good read on you, Tobias, at least. But he's not. Again, he's not going to say anything because that's not the time. But he does understand. Let's say why you two are having such difficulty with this scene. So he comes over and he says, "It's all right. I know these types of scenes, they can be difficult. It's amazing how they can wrong foot you. These little moments of emotional vulnerability, but." Giggling is lovely, but we do have to deliver our lines. So if we take it from basically the scene just before this, right. So he's in love with you. He's just confessed. You say you don't know what to say, and that's his cue, I believe, to really start this tiny little love ballad. And remember that. We've got one of you is singing and the other one who's supposed to be able to sing is replying in a sentence. So on top of having to deal with this confession and the idea that you are in love with him a little bit as well, and increasingly so, you are lying to him. So you have the subtext of that to deal with as well. So play that to the camera, don't tell it to him, but when you turn away, let that come with your expression. You can?
Okay.
Okay, let's take it from I don't know what to say. Okay.
The music swells once again.
I really don't know what to say. Oh gosh.
And I'm not going to make these sing.
Oh, it's alright. Because I don't know how to sing.
Oh, shush. Well, anyway.
Unlike Launch with...
Launch was amazing. This is an exceptional case. But I will have to ask you to roll performance for this song, because this is the first time that Tobias has sung.
Oh, yeah.
And again, moves, I think you should roll, because you wrote this song. Oh, so, yeah, Tobias has rolled a dirty 20, so you can sing just fine, honey.
Okay.
24. Oh my god. I think for a 24, we have to cross-cut back to when Moves was writing this song. how have you written this song? What have you put into this little love ballad?
So musically, it's interesting because it's not in a major key like you would expect from a love song. It's in minor. So throughout the song, it's gorgeous, but there are hints that all is not quite right. Both Bill and Belle's themes are wormed into it, but like if you're listening very, very carefully, you occasionally hear like Calamity Dame's theme start up and then stop.
Ooh.
And then it starts and then stops. And Calamity Dame never enters the scene, so it never like fully reaches its crescendo of the trio, which is honestly like the big motif that is trying to be conveyed. It's just as these two are singing and they're blending their motifs, something is missing and something is omitted. So it's a gorgeous song, but even at the end when you strike the last note and it's a finalized chord, it still doesn't feel resolved.
That's amazing. And
Good.
I think we also see a scene where Moves, you've played this song to the engineer who's like leaning on the piano, and he doesn't say anything, he just tilts his head towards you and gives you a huge smile.
So Move likes nods and he's like tips his glasses up and says, "Told you I know a thing or two about music," and he like swipes up all of the papers, and only when he turns away from the engineer do you see that the blush has started. He only managed to put it on by a couple seconds, and he's now leaving the room.
And yeah, we're back on set and doing this song, and it's wonderful. There's no other way to put it. It's just perfect. And I think to finish this scene, again, Obby, I would like you to roll performance, because after this song finishes, and you know, in fact, whilst you're responding, you are having to act. You're having to act in two senses, because you're acting the part of the character, but also your character is acting.
Oh, yeah. Very true. Oh, boy.
15 is good, but do you want to do better?
It could be better.
It could be better.
It could be better.
Moves, do you want to jump in with inspiration? Or in fact, I think more appropriately, Tobias, you could give bardic inspiration.
Oh, I absolutely.
Because, yeah, you're a bard, and you are in the scene, just giving it all you've got.
Moves is like absolutely on tenterhooks because he wants this scene to go so good. He wants it so bad.
So, yeah, I think you get, what was that, 1d8 either way?
D8 or D6? I don't remember.
Yeah, what's Toby's?
Yeah, Toby might be a d6 because you're not the level that DJ Moves is, which is a level 7. Whew.
Ooh.
Yeah, Moves and Engie up there. Engineer's been stuck
Yeah.
at 7 for a while. I might
So
have to boost him.
Does Obi roll it or do
I think I rolled a d6, yeah. So
Yeah,
let me-
yeah. Because it is your role. A 2.
2.
Okay, that takes you up to the DC. That's the required amount to pass for this scene. Are you happy with that?
Prim's probably too flustered to...
To do it again. That's fine. And again, like, the song carries it, and Toby, this is your scene. Like, this is a really big moment for Bill, so we do want the focus to be on you. And it works, and it's great, and the song finishes. And, Annabelle, what do you say now? Because you're probably quite invested in this lad as well. Like, basically, you are in love with him as well. Uh-oh.
Wait, there's probably, like, just a moment where you see just all on her face, just the expression just of, oh boy. Just, like, no words. You could just tell by the expression that she was just like, oh wait, oh I think I love him.
Oh, it's love, isn't it?
Oh, this is love.
So this is love.
Disney songs!
Please.
The YouTube police will come to my house and shoot me, please. Don't. Oh boy.
I stopped myself.
You did. Also, that song pre-existed Disney using it for that film, so we'll move on. Yeah, I think that's great actually, because again, the engineer comes from a silent movie background. He really appreciates a beat where there is nothing said, and yeah, you convey everything that you need to in that expression. I don't know how the scene ends. Like, do you kids want to talk some more, or do you want me to cut away?
I think you can cut away.
Cut away? Okay, yeah, we leave on that expression, and in fact it cross-dissolves onto a very different expression, which is Calamity Dame's. And this is a little solo sort of segue scene, where Calamity Dame, you are walking down the high street with this lovely, love-struck smile sliding up the side of your face, and then you keep shaking your head, and it keeps coming back. I would like you to roll performance.
You'd think how many times roll performance I'd memorized that stat by now, but
Yeah.
no.
Oh dear, a 6. Okay, you definitely need help with this one. I don't think even Bardic Inspiration can save you with a 6. Okay, so the engineer sees you're having trouble. He's like, alright, cut. Give us 5. I'll just brief my actor. And he comes onto the set with you, which is, they've made a street. You're in a street in a Wild West town. And there's shop fronts and there's posters and there's all sorts of things. So just imagine yourself in that place. And he says, okay, I understand this is a bit tricky. It's very subtle, the scene, and you're by yourself, probably a bit anxious. Is that it?
Yeah. Just a touch. I ain't got no one to play off of.
I did have a thought about that, but I wanted to see if you'd do it yourself. But no, that's not fair. Okay, so have a look at the scenery, and I want you to do perception. See if there's anything that catches your eye. 7. No, you're very nervous.
I just sang a song and now I'm still shaking off the nerves.
Oh, well, that's true. Gosh, this is a busy day for filming. Sorry. Well, not sorry. We've got a schedule and a budget. But
It's like, tell the girl what you want, for Pete's sake, engineer.
don't tell me how to do my job. Okay.
I'll tell you how to do your job if you're doing it poorly.
Ooh. I mean,
Oh my god.
I'm gonna just make a 2. Fortunately for you, he's been concentrating on his work and he does not let his temper get the better of him. So he takes a deep breath and decides to ignore what DJ Moves just nearly strung a noose for himself with, and just says, alright, have a look about you. There's posters with your beloved on them advertising what's gonna happen. You can moon over those. There's, oh look, there's some pretty dresses on the mannequins in the window. Wouldn't it be nice to imagine her in one of those? There's motifs in this world that represent each and every one of you. But it's up to you to find the love that you are suddenly completely surrounded with, and you've never felt like this before. Your character has been a very hardy, cheerful lady, and hasn't been particularly interested in romance, I believe. But then this woman has come into your life, and God save you, but she's the most brilliant, beautiful, perfect thing you've ever seen.
Dreamy far off look.
See, that is what I wanted from you. Okay, let's not lose the moment. Okay, let's get rolling again. And you start filming again. I would like you to roll performance with advantage, because you've had some coaching. Drumroll. Also, Moves, you really do want the engineer to kill you, don't you? I mean, you have taken every liberty. 15, I think. Take the 15, and if someone can add bardic inspiration, that'd be great.
Listen,
Please.
Moves is trying to pull himself out of the hole that he just unexpectedly dumped himself in. Take the bardic inspiration. Say,
God, what's
One-
his D8?
Yeah, 1d8. Oh, a 1! You are just shy of...
Okay.
You're just shy of perfection. And in fact, I think with that, you still need a little bit of help. Tobias, can you think of anything to do?
I can give bardic inspiration too, actually.
Yep.
If it helps.
I will allow it to stack in this case, because we need this
And-
scene to work.
Can I say that the bardic inspiration shows by Tobias actually pulling out his violin and joining Moves in the music?
Hell yes, you can. That's lovely. That's really sweet. A 3. Yeah, that definitely works better than Moves' sorry effort with a 1. But yeah, Tobias brings out this violin. What do you do? Like, what kind of motif are you and Moves playing?
I'm not sure actually.
do you think we're maybe echoing Belle's motif so that Calamity Dane is walking along and everywhere they see and in everything they hear, Belle keeps on just appearing in their thoughts?
Yeah, that works really good. In fact, you take the direction and you moon over these posters and the mannequins in the shop window, and in editing, the engineer uses some double exposure to overlay a image of Primrose trying on the dresses in the shop, or like animates the poster so it winks at you and stuff like that. So yeah, you in deep, girl.
Road tries so hard, and at first she's too busy thinking about her own person that she does have maybe a thing for, and she gets too caught up in that, and then she has to mellow it out.
And that's so sweet. You actually have to play it down towards the end, and in fact, you're so flustered that you're basically surrounded by all of these things that remind you of her, that you have to take refuge, and you run into a flower shop, and guess who's in there? But Bill.
Oh man.
Well, shoot, howdy. Fancy meeting you here.
Oh, it's you. Damn. What are you doing here?
I mean, I just stopping by. I figured, well, you can keep a secret now, can't you?
Oh, I absolutely can.
One
What's up?
cowboy to another. I got someone I'm mighty sweet on in town. Ain't never felt like this
Oh.
before, you know?
Oh, you too?
I
Oh
was-
well, would you look at that? Looks like we got a common point.
Oh shoot, you found someone sweet in this town. That's mighty nice, ain't it? Ah shoot. I was kind of thinking about, proposing to her, like, maybe sometime soonish.
Well, if you want, I can maybe help you find flowers to give to that beloved.
Ah, shoot, that would be mighty kind of you. You getting some for your girl? Hey, now that I think about it, you gonna be at Belle's performance later?
Oh, absolutely. I
Well, I'm just thinking, be mighty sweet if we had two proposals going on at once, huh? Real cute.
Oh, I like the way you think.
Oh shoot, I'm glad. I just think it'd be mighty sweet, man. Can't wait to see.
I love that. And you see, Bill is a golden color. While thinking about this, with maybe some splashes of pink.
Oh shoot. I can't give too much away. I gotta be surprised. Gotta be my nice pretty surprise.
As mightily
it-
well as this
it
is
shows.
playing already, I do need you both to roll perception. I mean, not perception, performance. The role that we're doing repeatedly this entire game. I'm so sorry,
We
but
love
it is a movie.
performance.
Oh dear.
Fudge.
Oh, that's a crit fail.
Ah,
And that's a crit success! Wow, talk about opposites. I mean, I will remind moves that you can use your inspiration however and wherever you like. Equally, with Tobias, you can help by using that inspiration to lift your partner in this scene.
I'm totally using the inspiration points to help. Roll.
Awesome. Okay, that skyrockets it to a nat 20 plus 4, so you have, as it were, rolled a 24 and a 25. This is an adorable scene. And in fact, even the types of flowers that you're trying to like choose between, the engineer has looked up the meanings of these flowers to like convey hidden conversation, not between necessarily these two with each other, but with their intended love and the fact that they are very similar flowers that they're choosing out. And there is a recurring theme of pink. Yeah, there's all sorts of little subtle hints that you can pick up that they are both in love with the same person. And yet, as you're having this conversation, you know, there's the respect and the love, as it were, that you guys developed when you met in an adverse situation, and you can tell, like, these two really like each other.
Oh,
We get along mighty fine, man.
Can moves give Bardic? Oh no, wait, y'all already nailed it. Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, super nailed it. I mean, you can suggest something.
What I was going to suggest is in this conversation, in an entirely different song, but much in the same way, you keep on hearing the startup of Belle's theme, and then it never resolves. So this conversation is much more jokey and dancey and light, but there's both Bill's theme and Calamity's theme, and then just the tiniest hint starting up of Belle's theme, and it never finishes. It never continues.
Motif.
I think that's solid enough. Is there anything that you two actors would like to say to each other before I move on to the next scene, or are you happy with that?
Before they leave as they're leaving the flower shop, Dame will kind of stick a hand out and be like, you know, I know it takes a lot of guts to not compromise on your morals, especially when you're in a tough situation like that. I really do respect that, you know? Didn't do nothing even when you were all, or didn't even think about giving up even when you're all tied up by those low-life vermin.
I didn't understand anything because I'm still French.
That's true, there were a lot of little Americanisms. Basically, to translate, Calamity Dames thinks you were very heroic back there, and you didn't submit to their pressure, even though, like, you know, it would have been very easy for you to sacrifice your ideals, your moral standing for, you know, what they were asking you to do.
Oh. Well,
Too caught up
I don't know.
It was good, Road.
I don't know how to say it as Tobias or well Bill, but he definitely thanks Dame and responds by saying her heroism and also Belle's, but really he's talking about Dame right now. About she was great, and seeing her in action was incredible.
In fact, as the characters, I would like you both to roll insight. So this isn't the actors. This is Bill and Dame. Ooh, at 23, that's very good. That works perfectly. That's really good. Okay, so with a The nat one. Oh, bless your soul, Bill. You have no idea why you like talking to this lady so much, but you really know that you just really like talking to her. Nothing else passes through that single brain cell of yours, which isn't even functioning. You're just really happy whenever you talk to her for some reason, and you know, there's nothing familiar about her voice. Nothing at all familiar about her voice. And with a 23, however...
Coincidence.
Yeah, pure coincidence. With a 23, however, Calamity Dame, you are aware that you like talking to this young man as well, and, you know, you have quite a lot in common. Like, you're both shotgun stagecoat hands and guns for hire, and he's cool and heroic and funny and uh-oh. And then we have a great mirror scene because your expression does exactly the same thing that Annabelle's did. And we then move on, and I think even like the flowers sort of come up into your face rather than cross-dissolving like we're all expecting it to. And yeah, you finish the scene kind of clumsily paying for your flowers at the same time, both intending to propose to your beloved after the performance this evening. And I think at this point this is a very good point to have a little 5-minute break, because the rest of the film will be the last half of the game for sure.
Thank you.
This is going
this is so
really well.
fun.
This is perfect. Okay, everybody have a rest, get some water.
2 lesbians and 1 in both.
Drink time.
Drink time.
Hydrate.
Time to go to the lobby, everybody.
Hydration time.
Yeah. AFK for a minute.
Alright,
so.
I'm gonna refill my water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute myself so no one can hear me drink water.
Oh, same. Good idea.
The secret for that
Yeah.
long and I didn't even know.
What? Are we talking about secrets and I don't know about secrets? What?
No,
Yeah, the secret that I wrote that song in like 2 seconds.
Oh.
Surprise.
Wait a second. You
But
wrote
me,
that?
I just surprised.
And
Oh,
I wrote that. So I forgot that there was gonna be like 2 songs in this section. So after we rolled initiative, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do a different one. So I wrote that one.
What? You don't have to keep singing. Oh my god. Crazy.
Secretly a bard launch.
Whoa.
hey, Mod, you have to give an inspiration.
I do?
Nah, man.
I'm giving you one right now. You have an inspiration point.
Like that.
But I got another song. Song. Damn it.
Like, just take the inspiration because you've done so much work just so quickly to sing like this. This is amazing.
It's all that chamber choir knowledge. You gotta be able to fake it on the spot.
It's amazing. I'm really, really impressed. But yeah, Launch, you have an inspiration point, so have that. Use it.
Good.
Because I mean,
It'll
we are
give it away
closing
to
in.
someone, probably.
We are closing in on the finale, so it's go big or go home time, people. So yeah, do use those.
Oh boy. Oh god.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
The scene I was apprehending.
Oh boy.
I'll let you to use it.
Who's ready for some drama?
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
I am not.
I'm not either, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be tasty. Car crash time. Okay, so are we all ready to resume?
Yes.
Great.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Right, welcome back. We have had our intermission. The curtain has come back up, and we are on to the big scene. And boy, is it gonna be a big scene. In fact, I have put this chapter down as all gone to pot, so it involves Road Prim, Moves, and Tobias. Like, you're all here. Everybody is involved in this because Moves, you have to roll for writing this song and also to, perform as Reliable Joe. And, yeah, so do the rest of you. But in fact, I think we'll do that as we go along. But this is for the song. Okay, now, Dirty 20, it's a killer. Do you want to describe what kind of a song this is? Because, I mean,
boy.
it's the big night.
I'm so angry I was gonna use my inspiration point, but it's a dirty 20. I gave him too high performance and now I'm suffering. So I would say that this song is actually the least connected to the character's 3 motifs, because it's not yet about them. This is just a performance. So it draws a lot on songs of the time. There's a lot of like references and motifs of songs from the time, and it's actually the absence of the three characters' motifs that makes it interesting rather than how they're included, because until a certain part that'll be coming up, it's just Western music, which is a big departure from how it's been going. It seems kind of plain Jane, and only if you look further on in the script you'll realize why that's actually pretty smart and insightful.
Okay. And it's going very well. I mean, it has to, because that's what this scene is. So I do believe that, Annabelle, you should roll performance.
Alright, here we go.
Believe in you.
This is a big number. And Rode, you can do what you're going to do, and you have inspiration, because I think, again, you have just come up with something amazingly. That was a 23 for Annabelle's dancing and miming performance. So you're killing it, girl. Absolutely killing it.
All right, I want to roll deception to see how much like Road this is going to sound like.
Fair enough. That was a nat 20 plus 7, everybody. 27.
Holy crap.
27. I think it goes pretty good.
Nat 20.
And this is the highest rolling game I have ever seen. Bar none.
Heck yeah. It's the pining.
It is the pining.
It's the pining!
Lalu is all about this pining, yo. Okay. So, take it away, Launch.
All right. Let me just look it over real quick. It's just that pretty sight of the girls on stage brings a dazzling, dreaming gleam to my eye. If I could just meet one of them, I'd say, howdy doody girl, would you be mine?
Can I marry you? Can I propose? I mean, shit.
Give me a second. I need to say something. Bill is in love with Calamity Dame's voice as much as I'm in love with yours.
Yeah. Canon.
What? Your voice is so good!
I just make these up, baby!
That's incredible, my dude.
That was incredible!
Wow.
Oh.
If you hadn't rolled a nat 20, I'd be giving you like... I mean, what do I say? The dice... No. The dice, no. But in fact, that was a very timely interjection on Bill's behalf.
My God.
Because, yeah, Bill, you are soups in love with this performance and the voice. In fact, I think we see you with your eyes closed at one point just listening to this voice and loving it. Absolutely loving this voice.
Absolutely.
Really good. However, this is all about the girls on stage, and in fact, the girl behind stage. So, what happens in this scene is, obviously, it doesn't all go as planned, and something happens backstage. I am not absolutely sure how to play this. Launch, if you want to come up with something funny, you can do that, or I will make you roll, I don't know, something, but I would have to hope you fail, actually.
Honestly, it's probably she's just so into the song and just like, oh man, she's just girl pretty. She's just dancing along. She knocks something over, and then it's a comedic series of like Rube Goldberg,
Thing. Those machines.
Those machines. And eventually, somehow, it caused the curtain to just get dropped.
Yeah. In fact, I think your little boot with its spur, you're dancing as well, because you're really getting into these performances, huh? And your foot gets tangled up in one of these ropes, and it unhooks it, and one of the weighted sandbags drags you up by the ankle, and suddenly, on stage, Annabelle's voice goes, "Wah!" And suddenly everyone's like, what just happened? And then there's this crash sound, and then the entire stage, piece by piece, it's made out of layers. So there's clouds, and there's scenery on the ground with bushes and a backdrop, and from the front to the back, in a domino effect, they all fall over, and then the sky falls down, and you are revealed Calamity Dame, trying your best to continue singing with a bucket on your head.
Oh.
Oh no.
She's trapped in fear.
No.
So we
Like,
have
I'm gonna keep going.
you have a reprise of your lovely song, but it's kind of muffled and echoey. Which is made all the worse or better by the dead silence that has just dropped across this saloon. And now I want Tobias to roll performance.
Cool.
Because you're basically
think Rhoda-
representing this reaction.
I think Rhoda honestly just thinks that the bucket fell so she can't hear anything anymore.
Oh, bless.
And that's why it's quiet in her mind.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no, that's
Oh god.
Yet
Nat 20.
another. Yet another. Nat 20. This is stupendous.
20 plus 5.
Someone has to go back through this log and like count how many Nat 20s we've had in this, because this is ludicrous.
Oh my god.
So yeah, this is wonderful, because I was basically using that as the role for the reaction of the crowd as well, who are all playing off you, basically, Tobias. Bill and the rest of the audience are just kind of aghast at what has happened, and they all realise that they've been duped. Bill, you are alone in a sea of angry faces because you are just shocked and stunned, and you realise the voice that you were in love with belonged to Calamity Jane. Yeah.
Sorry,
Squeaky toy noise.
Discord doesn't like me.
Oh no, is Discord freaking out on you? It's alright. You gave a...
Sometimes I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, uh-oh. Well, we'll wait
Wait,
until...
what?
Yeah, but it's fine now.
Is
No
it fine now?
problem.
Oh,
Okay.
you good?
Oh, okay. Well, we're back. Basically, I said you killed it, and your reaction was great, and basically, Bill has just realised that maybe I am also in love with Calamity Dame, but also, oh no, that was not Annabelle singing, and basically the sea of faces around you which were so caught up in the moment are also caught up in another moment, because mob psychology dictates that everybody is suddenly outraged and very angry, and people are like booing. People are booing.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
No, we can't have
Boy.
this.
Yeah, it's a bad scene. Like, you've got to have a bad scene. I think also, yeah, Moves, do you want to roll for Reliable Joe?
Of course I do, darling.
I'm not making you roll for that song because it was just baller. Holy shit!
Jesus.
That's the third Nat 20!
3 in a row.
In
That's
a
3
row.
in a row.
What is
Oh,
going
that's
on?
good rolls.
Katie, we need to give this luck
Oh my
back to
God.
Dice Parser.
I'm
because
absolutely
Dice Parser's
freaking
been
out.
A real jerk.
This is
in
kind
other
of scary.
games.
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of scary. I think Lady Luck
I'm
has just
scared.
taken control of the dice for this game because she likes musicals.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes.
love this musical.
Yeah.
I love this song.
Actually, I know another character who
Kirkle
likes
was
musicals.
with her.
But,
So I think what happens is Joe was at the bar serving drinks, making sure everybody was okay, and he was staring when the silence dropped, and then everybody started talking, and he started like trying to move in front of both of them, but then the crowd starts going, Joe, what is this? And you see for half a second his like protectiveness starts coming out, and then the crowd gets a little bit angrier and his courage flees, and he's like, I didn't hire this, I hired one of them, I don't know what they were doing. And you can like see the confliction in his face of like, wait, I should be protecting the people I hired, but this crowd is angry and I'm a weak-willed person. So it's like alternating
Oh, God.
between, okay, don't hurt them, but I didn't do this. Oh, no. I'm Reliable Joe. I wouldn't do this to you guys. So it's just this war, and it's kind of impressive how well
Yeah.
it's conveyed.
it's an award-winning performance. In fact, I think if there was a category of filmic awards that were called after this engineer's original name, you would win Best Supporting Actor. This is like incredible. Even he can't deny that you have done a killer job with this little piece of character work here. But yeah, back on stage, both of you ladies are in trouble. How do you react? I think Annabelle first. We should take it to Annabelle. How is Annabelle reacting to this?
Oh boy. Well, Annabelle had still continued dancing for a little bit after the curtain was drawn up, and then she just slowly stopped. And now there's just everyone yelling and screaming, and she's just, oh boy, she's shutting down.
It's
She's
bad.
like backing away, and she has no idea what to do. It's like, oh, the tail is not wagging.
Oh,
There's a sad puppy. There's a sad puppy.
Oh no.
I think it is time for the hero to step in.
Good. Very in a fit of confusion, cause hey, where'd the sound come from? Where'd the sound go? Oh, now it's back in anchor. What? Lifts the bucket off her head, sees everything going on, sees that our darling Belle is getting the brunt of this, and she rushes right over to her, throws an arm around, and pulls out her gun and fires some warning shots in the air.
Yep, that's a good crowd response. Yeah, everyone freaks out for a second and then shuts the hell up because whoa.
Y'all best be ashamed of yourselves. I thought we were gonna make this town nice and neat. If it ain't been a place of cheers and joy like just before in so many years, and she came and bring that to y'all. And now, just because we're playing a little bit of a fun little thing, y'all are upset? I ain't seen any of y'all smile in so many years.
Yeah, but she lied to us.
Some
She
anonymous
didn't
voice
lie
says.
none. She brought you a performance that y'all loved.
And there is
I helped her out with some of that now, but she brought all this to us.
And there is
Y'all
a
bitches.
shame-faced Mexican wave of murmuring after this very well given lecture. Thank you,
Y'all
Snip.
want someone who can sing and dance? Well, she can do that for you. I just need to be her voice. Besides, she is just amazing. This girl came from the big city. They didn't want her none because she stuck to her goal of being a professional actress. She didn't stop singing and dancing none, even when the building was on fire around her. And after all that, they throw her out like that. Evade, are we gonna be a town that throws out people like that?
No! Comes a united cry.
I didn't think none so. Y'all best get in your seat and enjoy the rest of the performance, you hear?
And there are some hoorays and claps, and one person in particular is clapping very heartily and loudly. And that's you, Bill.
Absolutely. And is actually
Did Discord do a dirty on us? Right in the middle of Louis talking? That's just rude.
Ah!
You come back!
No.
Welcome back.
Hello.
We can hear
I
you again.
am back. Yes. I am here.
Sorry,
No, I
Bill was
was
about
gonna
to say.
Ah! No. Bill is a mix of a very dark sky blue and of gold as he's clapping.
Wow, that's a look. He's a good boy. So good. I love him so much. Everybody's in love with this character. And I hate to make you do it because that speech was superb. But in terms of, both that and the performance which we will both be resuming, because you are going to finish this song and dance together on the stage, yes, I need both Calamity Dame and Annabelle to roll performance.
Alright.
Let's see if we can get even more nat 20s. Are you kidding me?
Ooh.
Holy cow. Okay, not quite a nat 20, but we got a 19 plus 4
Oh.
from Calamity Dame, which is a
Lady Luck
23.
and Crunkle really love this musical.
Yeah, and an 18. And an 18 works because you got, your nerves real shook bad by that, Annabelle. But fortunately, Calamity Dame has saved the day, as every lead hero should. especially when you're the name of the damn film. So yeah, you put on a song and dance very bravely. Do you want to describe any character interactions that happen on the stage whilst you're killing it once again?
Definitely tries to do a two-step together, but Road almost certainly, if she doesn't step on your foot, she very nearly does.
I think with the 23, you make it look like, you know, the character is clumsy and you almost trip over each other and it's funny, but you don't actually trip anybody up or step on her. It's great.
Annabelle is probably helping to support Calamity Dame while they're like I don't know how to describe it.
Well, she's singing and dancing at the same time now, which is a first on stage.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Bill walked to the front of the crowd to look at them both better.
Oh, definitely wave to Bill, because it's gonna be so nice afterwards.
Yeah. Also, you know, the townsfolk
Absolutely.
the townsfolk know Bill, and they aren't gonna mess with Bill, and certainly not Bill and Calamity Dame. So not only are they shamed into silence, they're also slightly intimidated, and then they're persuaded by the performance, because genuinely, you're both great up there, and they do feel stupid for being so upset about basically nothing, especially when you were trying so hard to entertain them. When you couldn't sing, you still came out and tried to do your best, and you did do your best, and you're great! And yeah, it finishes. I think in this scene we do need another little bit with Reliable Joe, because, I mean, that performance you gave before was great. But how does Reliable Joe respond to the rest of this?
Well, let's see how Lalu is feeling. A 13. So gosh darn it, I don't want to use birthday inspiration now. We haven't finished.
You don't. I remind you that you have a director.
All right, you know what? I think Move like tries to like capture that moment that he had when he was like acting so well, and it starts like falling apart, and he like tries to overcompensate because like he's trying to prove that he's good at this, which means he loses sight of the character. So eventually Engie's just gonna have to call it and say time out.
Yeah. In fact, you basically they do the performance scene, and it's okay because he can go back and do the crowd reaction shots as separate takes, because you know that's how you do with different camera angles. So he comes up beside you and he's giving some feedback to some of the other crowd members, because you know there's a crowd, there's a lot of people in this pub. However, you're a key character, so the audience is going to be looking at you. And he comes up to you and basically says, what is it that you need help with?
Moves is like arms crossed, like looking at the wall, and it's pretty clear he's gotten himself flustered. He's like, I don't even know what it is, darling. I just lost the moment. I'm sure if we run it again, it'll be fine. Don't worry. I won't sabotage your show for you. You know I wouldn't do that. I should hope by now I've proven that I wouldn't do that.
Hey, you have.
Of course. Wait, really?
And he's just standing there with his arms crossed, just looking at you, very sincerely.
Moves now, like reaches up, and you can tell he's trying to grab for his glasses, but it's a different haircut, and he intentionally put the glasses somewhere he couldn't grab them. So you can see his eyes as he like actually gets flustered at this actual admission that Engie is now trusts that he's not trying to sabotage the thing, and he's like,
and he grabs your hand. He grabs your hand and says, "That's what you need. Use that. Use that fluster." It suits you.
Yes, of course. Obviously, darling. I'll just use all this. yeah, embarrassed energy for the win. And he like fist pumps with the hand that isn't still firmly wrapped around Engie's, and he's like he's giving Engie exactly what he wants.
Mm-hmm. He sure is. Engineer has to turn away and basically say, okay, quick, take another take while we've got that energy. And you can only see this on the piece of footage just before the clapperboard, but he is desperately trying not to laugh. He is desperately trying not to grin because he completely caught you off guard, but he also is like, he actually found that kind of cute. And you film the response. You film the reaction. It's great. I will ask you to roll performance again, but again, as ever, you had direction, you get advantage. 29! I guess that hit home, huh?
The dice, no.
Yeah, I think you're
The
good.
dice,
I don't think you need to roll again, but fine. Okay, 24, 29. You do 2 more takes and they're both great. They're really good, and it's such a small part, but you do it so perfectly. And that's the key to films, is if it's done perfectly, you either don't notice or you remember it for the rest of your life.
Moose insisted on a third take just because he needed to be sure, and he was plenty flustered anyway, so it was also good.
Okay, it's very, very good. Maybe the engineer decided to let them do that third take just because he was enjoying seeing you with that expression. Anyway, the performance finishes, and the crowd gives you a standing ovation, and it's not just like the hoot and holler and hooray that you got the first time. There is something more dignified about this. It is respectful and grateful and a bit contrite. But it is still very loud and very good and huge and very moving. And I think we go back to the girls on stage, but also Bill. I mean, you and Calamity Dame had a plan for what would happen at the end of the performance.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Dame definitely like looks at him, kind of like nods her head with excitement.
Oh god, he nods back. And he turned orange color.
Huh?
As he walks slowly on the scene by the side.
Oh, rude! Like her excitement, like gradually starts to turn to confusion as she like her bouquet that she had ready is just kind of like she was ready to just fling like just right to Belle, right in her face, but like it like kind of slowly like it goes back down as she's very confused why you're coming on stage.
Bill is starting to get confused too.
Annabelle's just looking between the both of them like, wait, what?
Oh, is it normal that I'm as stressed as this right now?
I think I'm just gonna ride off the previous performance. We'll save more performance rolls for the next scene, because you're very in the moment and it's great. And Bill and Calamity Dame both take a knee at exactly the same time.
Towards the exact same girl.
Yes, that was implied, but yes, very much so.
Oh my god.
I just needed it to be clear.
I know. It is terrible. I think the only person who can respond to this first is Annabelle.
Oh boy, Annabelle is... Oh no. If you thought she was shutting down before when everyone was yelling, it's nothing compared to now. She's just looking at them both like, wait, what? It's like, oh,
I think we have a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill actually says that.
Oh man.
No one in the crowd is saying anything. It is deathly quiet.
And like Annabelle's expression like keeps changing, like she's trying to say something, she's trying to say anything really, but her voice is just gone, and she can't voice what anything she wants to say in this moment, and it's just she's trying and she's trying and she's trying, and then she collapses. Just falls over back.
No. Yep. Annabelle.
I feel like
has
they
fainted,
both
for
like
sure.
rushed to catch her.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Love that. Trustful, but twice. I love it. So, yeah, Annabelle, in the stress of the moment, also kind of PTSD because you lost your voice, and yeah, that's very stressful. You faint, dead faint in the middle of this double proposal, and having caught her, both of you at the same time, Bill and Calamity Dame, you are face to face with each other.
Well,
And
I
shock
was not expecting that.
and like bewilderment, and then it turns to kind of maybe a little bit bitterness and a tinge of jealousy, perhaps. As she basically helps lay down Belle, and she'll kind of bring the brim of her hat lower. Didn't want to have to do this, but mind meeting me outside?
Oh, but Bill at first is a dark purple, and it only takes him like 1 second to go to his darkest orange, as he says, "Alright," and that's all he says.
And we cut to a view of the clock tower, and the minute hand goes thunk, and it is 1 minute to noon. High noon. And y'all know what that means. So I think individually, we now have two little solo scenes of Calamity Dame and Bill, who have requested the presence of the other for satisfaction. And you both have regrets. You do. And I think we should probably go first to Calamity Dame. How are you feeling? How are you expressing how you're feeling?
Dame definitely spinning the barrel of her gun and just kind of clicking it back, a little stress thing. But she's disheartened and a little bit downtrodden for a few reasons. One, because Bill was going to be Bill would be proposing to Belle, but also a little bit negative jealousy that means that he wasn't going to be like, proposing to her. But that can't be right. That we can't do that emotion. She was trying to steal my girl TM.
And that's a complicated series of emotions, so I will ask you to roll. Guess what? I'm gonna ask you to roll. It's the I wish there was an emotions option. Just roll emotions. How well do you emote? A 20, a dirty 20. You get this very complicated, bittersweet conversation with yourself, and I think, in fact, you're in the high street, but you're like in the shade, and we can see the reflection of Calamity Jane in the window, and it's almost like there's two versions of yourself, both kind of warring with each other whilst you're clicking this gun in a sort of almost absent way. And then we go to Tobias and Bill, who you're basically doing the same song and dance. Would you like to describe how?
Oh, well, I have a pretty good idea of what it looks like. So, remember when I said Tobias turning multicolor? Well, it's not the same kind of multicolor. As in, he's gray, and then the minute after he's orange, and then the minute after he's gray again, and then he turns turquoise, and then he turns gray, and then he turns dark blue, and then he turns gray again, and then he turns purple, and then he turns gray again, etc.
Okay, so Bill is full on caramel dancing over here. Just an aside, the engineer is humongously proud of you for having got through this color acting and this emotional acting thing, because you guys have been working on this for weeks. Like, yeah, absolutely, he has been training you to do this kind of stuff, but this is big, man. And yes, indeed, please roll performance, but you have advantage, because you always do, because you're acting under the engineer's guidance. Yeah. 12. 24. There it is. There it is. That's the Lalu roll. And yeah, you do exactly what you describe, and it's very impressive. It's really, like, that's complicated acting. Like, wow. Very, very good. Moves. What does the music score for this part sound like? Because I imagine it's very tense.
Do you want me to roll, or do you want me to just say?
I think you should roll, yeah. A 14.
Okay, we're making that the birthday 20, because this is
Yay.
the peak.
Mm-hmm.
This moment, like, as they're like remembering and like feeling these complicated emotions, there's hints of the motifs from earlier in the story. So when you're looking at Rode and she's thinking about things, you hear motifs from when she met Primrose, but then it's like interrupted with the motif of Bill. And at first it's like a harsh interruption, but then both Bill and Rode's motifs blend together, but then Rode like shakes off the Bill motif. And it's this just, it's you can tell that the person who wrote this moves like worked on this piece. Like, most of the music has been great. There's been one or two stinkers, because in every soundtrack there is, but you can feel how much effort was put into making this piece just sing.
Mm-hmm.
And with Bill, there's like motifs of Belle, and there's motifs of him, and then Dame's motif comes in, and it's like not as jarring at first, but then it like overwhelms the other voices, but then it like once again spins back into this trio of voices that immediately gets scattered, because no, that couldn't actually happen. There couldn't be a trio motif blended together, and it's just, there's like this constant thrum that's at beneath absolutely everything. And if you like pay really close attention to the camera work, you can see that Moves has timed it so that the thrum comes every second.
That's awesome.
Every second that gets closer to high noon.
Indeed. And in fact, I think it's on a very, it's just a held violin note, just a single one. And then there is a colossal jump cut, and the clock's minute hand slides ka-chunk to midday, and it begins chiming. And there are several jump cuts happening, intercut with shots of Annabelle, and Annabelle is starting to come to after having fainted. Reliable Joe is actually, dabbing at her forehead with a damp sponge and trying to get her to come around. But I think, Annabelle, this is your time to roll performance, because you've got to sell the fact that you are very groggy and then emotionally distraught.
Yeah. Oh boy.
8.
Oh, that one!
Oh no.
8 is not good.
That one.
That's a nat 1. That's a nat 1. Okay, I think in fact you start coming to, and the water from the sponge gets up your nose, and then you're just like hacking and coughing, and it's really funny, but not at all. Is not at all what this scene needs. So you hear cut. I mean, I kind of want to use that for the outtakes, but I don't think we can use it. You're right there, lassie.
I'm okay.
We need an actual medic.
I'm good.
Probably go over, like, whack you on the back a few times.
Yeah. This definitely
See
makes
what's up here.
the blooper reel for sure.
Aw, shoot. Y'all good?
I'm good. I think I breathed in some water. Oh,
Oh.
boy.
Do you need
Yeah.
a sec, Miss Primrose?
I'm... Just a bit. I need to catch my breath.
Okay, yeah, you do. You catch your breath. Everybody has a good laugh. Gets like the nerves shaken out, and you resume. You pass out again, and then we do the
night.
take again. Do you want to roll that performance again for me?
Yeah.
Sure. I love it. A 10, that's not good. You're corpsing, and that's a natural term because like you've laughed once and you can't help it. You start laughing again, and the engineer is like, "Oh, pick. Okay, tell you what. Let's pick this up tomorrow. You're clearly a bit too tired and frazzled." And I think in fact like these scenes are kind of filmed intermittently on different scenes. So you wrap up. You are all pretty tired, and we come back to film this scene again tomorrow. And I think we do have to get this performance roll. So roll again with advantage. The engineer has given you quite a sincere briefing. Not very strict, but like basically just going through it with you.
And at this point, if you get double bad rolls, Moves is automatically going to give you Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
You're good.
You're
Thank
good.
God.
I mean, even a 17 would have been good, but 24 is very good. In fact, the engineer himself has had experiences with being knocked out and coming to, so he basically sat down and described what it feels like to you in great detail. I don't know whether, Primrose has actually ever been KO'd and had to come around.
Oh, yeah, she had.
Okay, well, yeah, you compare experiences, and so you come up with this really convincing performance where you do cough and splutter a little bit with the eye fluttering and everything, but it's very sincere. And again, like, there is no music for this part of the soundtrack. It is just the incessant chime of the 12 strokes of midday. And by the fifth and the sixth one, you have come to and you are realizing what happened. I need you to roll athletics.
Oh, athletics?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Believe in you.
This is fine if it doesn't work well, I have to say. A 4, that's really good. No, honestly, genuinely, this is really good because you have just come to from fainting. You are flustered, you are flummoxed, you are breathless, you are balanceless. You are scrambling to try to get out into the midday sun to stop this shootout. However, we are still cutting to and fro with 2 other people who are stepping out as this happens into the middle of the street, and it is very tense. This whole musical has been filmed very much in the genre, the cinematic genre of a musical. It's all been very light and fun. This is the engineer making a Western type cinematography. This is John Ford, this is Sierra Leone, or whatever he's called, and it's it's so scary, man. Like, this is 2 people who are about to kill each other who might actually be in love with each other. It's very dramatic. It's a huge shift tonally, and it works very well. And yeah, you 2 are about to shoot each other, so I think again we do need to roll performance for these 2.
Oh boy.
Ooh, 22. Okay.
I'll use my
Listen.
info.
Road, you get a 14, 15, 16. That's not amazing, but it's better.
Are you happy with a 16? I mean,
No, I was gonna use my inspiration.
there it is, because yeah, this is the finale. So you have a 22 and a nat 20 plus 4. Like, oh my god, this is awesome. And the whole town is out, like basically leaning out of windows or on the rooftops, or like just listening behind closed doors to who's gonna survive. And it's grim. And the last stroke happens, and I think all 3 of you need to roll initiative, even though it's not like a fight. This is how we tell what order things happen in.
Oh no.
Boy.
It all comes down to
no.
dex, baby.
Oh no.
23! 20!
The dice! No! I swear!
Yeah.
Beautiful! And what do you do with your 23 leading the action?
Oh boy. Annabelle, like, there's a moment where she's just like looking up at Reliable Joe, like, where's Calamity? Where's Cammy? Where's Bill? Where are they? Oh
They're
gosh.
outside,
Oh
darling,
god.
but they won't be there for long.
Oh gods. And she just runs. She stumbles for a moment and she's just running out of the saloon and right out into the middle of the street, right between them.
Okay, you run out into the middle of the street between them, and I would suggest that you yell stop. You want to give me one for the can?
At the top of her lungs, just stop!
And literally as the barrels of these guns are being swung up from the hip, because these two are professional gunslingers, they're both very, very quick, they can just about barely aim away from each other and from you, and the bullets just go everywhere. Holy shit. And immediately we are back to the genre of a comedy. In fact, the person who got his shot off first was Bill. So your bullet ricochets around some milk cartons, and then it severs a rope that was containing some cattle, so they're stampeding. Calamity Dame, your bullet just goes everywhere. It sets off so many things, it's impossible, because the whole film, your character has been causing these my god, what are these? It's
Rube
Goldberg
stuff.
It's that!
Yeah.
It's got the word in front of it that I can never remember. Rube Goldberg, that's it. And it just is that, but times a billion. And there are barrels rolling, there are horses panicking and kicking indoors, there are people falling off of things somehow, and you have basically caused this cataclysmic event just from 2 bullets, and it all kind of amounts to this huge climax where one after the other these corn silos domino into the water tower, and the water tower creaks, and the shadow kind of falls all over you 3, and you're kind of like, oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Huh.
And I think you should all roll acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, I'm doing acrobatics.
You didn't think you were gonna have an engineer film without having to roll that, did you?
Wait, which one's mine? Okay, it's a 13.
They can grab you out of the way, and it absolutely fails.
I don't know actually. I think Launch, if you want Calamity Dame to grab both of them and pull them out the way, that would be great and
Oh,
heroic.
please, yes.
And it would suit. I think it would suit the roles. In
Save
fact,
us.
you got a nat 20, so I'm going to allow it. And it's brilliantly in character and perfect for the film. So, Annabelle and Bill kind of stumble and look like they're about to be crushed. But Calamity Dame, you reach them in time and pull them out of the death zone of this water tower that just comes kabam, shatters on the ground, and there is this cascade of water, and the entire street is flooded and is immediately awash with mud, and you 3 are all soaked and filthy, and this is the worst day of your lives. How do you express this to each other?
Oh,
Oh boy. Well, Annabelle's just kind
Tobias,
of sitting in the
Bill.
middle of the road, and she kind of does the dog thing where she shakes her head really fast. It's just mud going everywhere, and she's fuming silently.
Oh wait, I can do the sound effect again.
oh god.
Yes.
I imagine when, like, the tidal wave of water just came out, Ro just wrote it on, like, dead man float style, so now she's just, like, nose down in the mud, it's just not, just kind of, like, flaps her arms a little bit,
my.
and then just gives up.
Bill is back to one of the darkest sky blue he has. He has a face of purring comprehension of what just happened.
Oh my god.
Okay, why don't you join me in the mud, huh? Tries to trip him.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
sure.
absolutely can do that.
Yeah, I think in fact, Tobias, you need to make a dex save, and hopefully you'll fail. I mean, you can fail it on purpose if you like, actually.
Fail it on
Oh,
purpose.
Fail it on purpose.
Lalu, give me strength.
Yeah, 10 ain't gonna do it. 10 ain't gonna do it. You land flat on your back in the mud and make a colossal splash. And in fact, the splash from your mud bathing gets Annabelle in the face.
Oh my god.
Annabelle just stands there.
Hey, what was that for?
You don't want to join this nice mud bath?
There's like a second pause before Annabelle like stands up, and then she bends down and she picks up 2 handfuls of mud.
Oh shoot, we
And
gotta
just flings one each at both of them.
Yes. Roll to hit. Roll to hit.
The real gunslinger. She's
Wait,
the
what was I using?
mudslinger.
I will say you're proficient in mudslinging because it's hilarious. So you add your proficiency and either dex or strength if you like.
Well,
Okay.
the first one misses.
First one
What I was
misses.
aiming for.
It is a two-handed attack.
So just the second one.
You're still kind of dizzy, and both of these guys are old. They're pretty handy in a fight, so they dodge out of the way of each other. And in fact, while they do, they end up kind of too close to each other. Ooh.
No.
Like steps away, rubs the back of her neck, getting more mud on her.
Good job.
Bill was a bright pink and immediately does the same.
So yes, this end scene is literally everybody else in the town comes out and they're falling over and they're laughing, and then the person who was laughing gets a big pile of mud in the face from the person who fell over, and the whole town has turned into this massive, literal mudslinging fight. And they're all saying what they literally think about each other to their faces, but there's a lot of catharsis happening right now. And I think it's your turn to do that too.
Annabelle is probably the first one to speak up, like,
Dude.
while picking up two more handfuls of mud. And she's just like, "You guys, I love both of you!" And she slings it.
Bill
No, I did it wrong!
Bill is the second one after that. Says, "You know what?
Take it right in the
I
face."
think I love both of you too." And he does the same.
Well, shoot, I think you're mighty handsome and you're mighty pretty as well, so...
Oh, I'm dying, sorry. Oh my god, that's adorable. Learning that it was your voice and that Annabelle didn't change my opinion on neither of you, and I adore you both.
I'm jealous that you weren't like, you were trying to spend more time with her than me, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that.
Sorry that I you guys out
Both
to
are just so wonderful!
Three shots of mud at Reliable Joe.
Oh my god.
and he falls over all of them. And he
Heck yeah.
like they does.
Oh, this is perfect. I love
R.I.P.
this.
Reliable
Yes.
Joe. Or R.I.M. Rest in mud. Rest in dirt. R.I.D.
I can imagine at some point, Annabelle just walks over to Bill and Cammy and just playfully shoves them into the mud, just giggling.
Oh, you think we're not gonna drag you down with us?
Exactly.
Oh, they're all laughing.
This is
They just
so
start
good.
laughing, all
This
of
is
them, I'm sure.
so good and wholesome. And I think this is basically how this scene ends, with this whole town having a mud fight, and the camera pans up, and then it pans down, and it is a year later, and there is a big banner across the middle of town saying annual mud fight, and this has become an annual tradition where they sluice down the town if it hasn't rained lately, and they have a mud fight, and they get out all of their anguish and secrets and what I want to say to you really is. And yeah, they are all having a fantastic time, and you three haven't joined them yet, because you are all three of you watching this scene from a veranda, all three of you leaning on the wooden bar, and you exchange very loving smiles with each other before
Holding hands. Holding
holding
hands.
hands.
Holding hands.
Holding hands.
Yes, absolutely holding it.
And all three of you turn and you basically run over the camera, like the camera is sat on the floor by the end of this crane shot, and laughing, you run down the stairs to join in. And that's basically how the movie ends. And as a last thing, I think moves, you do have to roll performance for like the last piece of music to go with this, and for the credits.
Peck, I don't have my birthday inspiration point now.
21! There it is!
Duh.
It's great. It's wonderful. And I have to say, we go live to the premiere of this movie, and the audience has just gone ballistic. And I don't even have to say that as like a plot thing. You guys rolled so well. This film is like one of the best maybe the second best film the engineer has ever made. It's huge. The entire continent loves it immediately. You have achieved your goal.
Aww.
Oh.
Also,
Big
you all
hug of all the
receive
stars, of course.
you all receive 70 gold.
70? Holy
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was calculated like depending on how well you did. I mean, you all get paid anyway, like as being actors. This is basically bonus for how freaking well you did. You are all celebrities.
Wow, okay.
Like everyone has seen this
Lie
film.
down again.
Oh boy.
You are
This
famous.
is new. Prim had no money, and now she has lots of money.
Mhm.
Robert immediately probably just spends it on buying McDonald's for the entire group.
Hell yeah. Duck Monalds.
Yeah, of course, McDonald's.
They're run by Screw McCodger. It's Duck Monalds. Yeah, I like that.
Mono.
That's canon
Oh
now.
my god.
I'm gonna draw a logo for that later.
And I want to say that after the last scene, Tobias actually tells everyone that he made a shallot for the crew.
Oh, those are tasty, so that's really cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
They love you. They're like, hey, big bada boom, my good buddy Toby, yeah, we love the food.
Oh my life. So yeah, you're at your premiere. This is the hugest thing. It's massive. This is a big success. This film will go down in history as the best musical that has ever been made. Like shit, you nailed it.
Holy crap. Holy
Hey guys,
Oh dear.
hug. Road forces you into group hug.
Yes, group
Group
hug.
hug.
Yes.
Group hug. Yes. Group
The
hug.
tradition of the group hug once again.
Yes.
This time the engineer is not crushed, and in fact is probably a large instigating factor for the group hug.
The group hug.
This time moves is the one that's getting crushed.
Yes! Revenge! I mean,
She was
Prim
very
is
nice
probably
working.
the happiest she's been ever. If you thought the tail was wagging
That was-
before.
Oh no. Tobias is so gold that he may as well be shining like the engineer.
yeah, I was about to say the engineer is glowing so brightly, like, moves, you definitely are glad for having your sunglasses on. It's almost painful to look at him. He's just ecstatic with how well this went. He's beyond words. He is just basically, like, speechless with how proud of you kids he is. And everybody on the team, it's a huge thing.
So I rolled a basic perception just to see if Moves caught on anything. He's blinded. He loves these kids. He doesn't see anything.
Okay. I think we fade out on this scene. We fade out on this scene of your enormous triumph, and there's a little post-credit scene that me and Moves will do, if that's all right with you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Please.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it's pretty damn late. It's pretty damn late because it's the premiere night. Like, you were all up past midnight easy. It's like 3:30, and it's in the studio. And Moves, you got word by Penguin that the engineer would like to see you in his office.
So I'm gonna say I think Moves is a teetotaler. I don't think that Moves drinks, but I'm gonna say he comes in acting sloshed. So I guess it's a deception roll?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he's not actually trying to deceive or anything, but I'll roll it as deception, just because.
I mean, I would say at disadvantage if you're a teetotaler. Like the engineer would know that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's fair.
25 though. 21 and 25. You sell being tipsy very well. So how do you enter this office?
And it's not like incoherent tipsy. It's just like, I don't know, handsy tipsy. He's like, darling, and he brings it in for a big hug, and he's like, darling, we did absolutely smashing, don't you think? Oh, what could you possibly want to tell me today? And he's just like patting you on the shoulders and just like grinning up a storm. His glasses are somewhere up above his head because apparently he's gotten used to looking at you with his normal eyes at this point.
This is hilarious to me. This is absolutely hilarious to me because, I mean, you're faking being drunk. This guy drinks for real, my guy. And you immediately recognize the smell of whiskey off of this guy. And he is genuinely quite drunk. He has had a wonderful evening, and he's had a skinful and then some. Even with his high tolerance, like, he is pretty tipsy. And he says, oh, Moves, you did such a wonderful job. I'm so proud of you. I'm so relieved. And he, like, basically collapses onto your big plushy penguin stomach and kind of hammers at it, and you're a little bit afraid for a moment that he's going to grapple you again, but no, he's just basically hugging you.
Oh, all right there. And he sort of like picks Engineer up a little bit so that he doesn't have to worry about his balance. And it's not like actually picking up, it's just like supporting from underneath the arms. You know how it is when somebody's like leaning on you. He's just doing that. He's like, oh, all right, dear. I'm assuming with that deception roll, he doesn't, Engineer doesn't notice that all of the fake liquid courage has vanished and Moves is just acting
He's
normal,
completely unaware. He's completely unaware. In fact, I think for that roll, which was so good, I'm going to take it even further. He says, okay, she do whatever you don't. And he looks around conspiratorially. Don't tell DJ Moves that I said this, but I was so afraid. You know, I know the guy for 30 years, and if I'd worked out that he was not what I'd build up some respect for him, you know, after having to have him nipping at my heels for 30 years, it took me so much effort. There was this one year, there was a musical, what was it called? It was based off the Daryl's Chickens novel. Is it Olivia? That one, with the wee little orphan. That was a lovely film. But it almost beat me. Oh, that was dangerous. Yeah, after that, I really stepped up the pace. If it hadn't been for him, I don't think I would have had half the success that I did. And, I just had to be sure that I could trust him.
Moose is dead silent. Eyes are stuck in huge mode. Like, most of the time he has these little beady eyes. They're just stuck in the wide eye vibrating mode, and he is speechless.
And
eventually he just says, oh, I won't tell Moves if you don't tell Moves, darling.
Oh, you're such a good friend. You say that even if that pecky daughter used him, it was so unfair. But even if it wasn't his fault, just the possibility of him pecking around and making some stupid practical joke would make it happen all again. And he's like almost actually crying. But he pulls himself together. He's like, I couldn't risk it. I gave him such a hard time before this. I do feel really bad, but he did so well. Oh, Moves, what are you doing here? Oh, yes, you're just the person I wanted to see. Come over here. And he has sort of completely forgotten everything that he was just saying, as drunk people are wont to do. And my goodness, this is a drunk bird. He says, come here, come over to the desk. I've got something for you.
I'm listening, darling. and he's like trying to keep with the touchy thing, but he's also like completely flustered. So he's not even like going for the hug and all the jubilation that he was when he was fake drunk. He's like, wow.
While you're going, wow, he's digging around in the drawers, sort of disorganized. Oh, where's the pen? I put this one sheet. Anyway, this is very professional, so don't tell anybody. I've still got to the producers, but... On the strength of this movie, though, I think we can do it. I was seriously hoping that this would be a success, because I need you to help me. Well, we're a little project. It's a trilogy. Do you want to be in it?
Well, keep talking, my dear friend, and we shall certainly see. But I am intrigued.
Have a look at this. And he unrolls this poster. And it is a concept poster for a trilogy featuring quite a lot of familiar faces. And he says, it's a killer, but the setting is... well, the setting is in space, basically. It's kind of your frontier. It's a western, but it's in space. Could you help me out with that?
Moves is like vibrating. He's, again, his eyes are like stuck in big eyes with little dots mode, and he's looking at this and he's like, you would set one of your westerns in my domain?
Well, let's just say it's the next step. Also, I've got a part for you in it. You get to be the Emperor Penguin. How does that sound?
Emperor Penguin?
Hi.
And like the tiniest bit of tears are like lined up in again his still sprung wide eyes, and he's like, dear, I hope you know we are gonna have to go all out with the special effects. There's gonna have to be everything correct. And now he sweeps Engineer up into his arms and he's like, there's gonna have to be gravity physics. We're gonna have to figure out how to make ships, but on a small scale. Oh, this will be wonderful.
And I wouldn't have anybody else as my business partner. And he pats you on the face. And I think we, again, leave the scene with these two, one drunken reveler and one drunk with happiness, talking over the possibilities of this new and fantastic enterprise. And other star-related thing jokes. I didn't even mean for that to be a pun, but it is. Okay, and that is literally the end of the game. Hooray! Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey, Mud, Snail, I'm crying.
Yeah, that was so good. Also really cute.
That was so good.
Oh my god.
That was the best it
so
could have
good.
been. Oh, I'm exhausted. That was great.
I'm emotionally exhausted.
Yes!
That was incredible.
Good emotions.
Oh my god.
Star cause.
Yes. It's terrible.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
My boy Larry gets a really iconic role.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Oh my god.
The only
my
thing that Darth
gosh.
Vader was lacking was a banjo. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, so look forward to that one in the future though, because wow, the rest of this month is booked.
you.
Like I have a game every week, so this is gonna be like October at the earliest. Wow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There is no pressure.
Well, apart from me and the
Exciting.
engineer.
This is exciting.
Yes. So I don't quite know how I'll play those games, but excited. Thank you so much. You all did such a great job. The dice rolls were insane.
Lolly likes musicals.
Seriously.
Apparently. 'cause
What happened with
ones,
the
too.
roll?
Okay, yeah, everybody's just gonna have to prepare themselves for the next game not to be this lucky. Sorry, whoever plays next. We probably used up Dice Parser for a while.
Yeah, Lalu ate all her
drowning
popcorn
God.
for this one. Wowee.
Crap.
Wowee.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. I mean, like, gosh and golly.
Oh man.
Actually,
golly.
just a crowbar in some extra cheesy lore. There's a particular person who wanted to, had a favorite musical, and he was so disappointed with everything that happened, and he made a wish. He wished that there was a better musical out there than The Magical Magician of Oz. And hey, guess what? It came true.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, shall we leave it? Because I don't think there's a better place to leave this.
Okay.
Oh, this is
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah, if we I'm just gonna keep flailing.
Yeah, me too.
Look, I've been doing the hand clap
Same.
thing for like a couple minutes now. So
Me too.
I'm just quietly
But I
vibrating.
also have to
Oh, actually,
do the push to talk, but I'm also flapping.
yeah, for the people who are wondering how the hell I keep making that wet dog shaking sound effect,
please tell me this.
I have some therapy elastic bands. You know, it's like really thin, broad sheets of elastic that I use for like wrist
Oh my
exercises. So I was just like holding that in my hand and turning it very quickly. That's what makes that noise. I found that out earlier and I was like, I've got to use this.
I'm so glad I was able to use that gag.
Perfect.
It was so good.
Oh.
Alright, I'm
Very fun.
gonna go now and eat because
Yeah.
it is 20
Yeah.
past
I
7
will
in the
be
evening.
free.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. This was
Thank
perfect.
you.
Okay,
Drink
goodbye.
and do stuff.
Yeah.
Bye.